Zoe, go back. Zoe, go back. Hello and welcome to a rain-soaked Joe Paul Stadium here, the home of the Barons, as St. Pete Catholic is coming off one of their most successful seasons in over
Before we kick off, the Baron Athletic Boosters would like to
Welcome
thank and
into the
acknowledge
booth. My
all
name
of
is
our
Jonathan
Baron
Shields, the
business
director of
partners
broadcasting here
for
at
all of
St.
their
Pete Catholic.
support.
I'm joined
Thank
by my
you to
senior
Thomas
broadcasters,
Insurance,
Henry
American
Callahan. Henry, how
Acquisition
you doing
Group,
today?
I'm doing great.
Jerry
You know,
Chrysler,
any day that the
Dodge,
Barons
Jeep,
play
Ram,
football, I'm doing great.
Team Cyber,
Yeah,
your
that's what I
trusted
love to hear.
cyber
St. Pete Catholic is
investors,
coming off one of
Chris
their
Hudson,
most successful
Edward
seasons in
Jones,
20 years. A lot
American
that had to
Stories,
do with the
Wawa,
pairing of Jesse
Summit
Chinchar and
Family
Jake Earl,
Dental.
and they're both back
Thank
this
you
year.
for
What are you
supporting
expecting from
Baron
that from this
Athletics.
offense?
I expect a lot of big things out of the
St. Pete
offense,
Catholic has
especially
won the
quarterback
toss.
Chase Burrow. I mean, you're talking about a
And
guy
third.
that broke the county record for passing touchdowns last year. He did very special things with this Barons team last year, and you know, like you said, expecting special things.
And then on the Jesuit side, Jesuit has not only one of the best defenders in the state, but in the country with Caden
Barons will
Henderson.
be
What do you
kicking
expect
off
out of him
to the
today?
Jesuit
You know,
Tigers.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. SPC is going to have their hands full with him. You know, he's a great player who has a lot of Division I major school offers, and you know, I'm expecting a lot of big things from him as well on the Jesuit
Ladies
side
and
of the ball.
gentlemen,
Yeah, we're about ready here for kickoff here at Joe Paul Stadium. This is a preseason game, right? It does have all the hype and the feel of a playoff game here at Joe Paul Stadium. First time football has been played here
Ladies and
since
gentlemen,
November. When
one
the
last
St. Pete
time I would
Catholic
ask
made
that everyone
one of
please
their,
stand, both
longest runs
Jesuit
over the
fans and
last
St. Pete Catholic fans,
20
please stand.
years. As now the crowd is being asked to stand right before kickoff as we're about to begin here.
I think they're doing a little special. It's a little special thing that the school introduced for this.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's game is being officiated by members of the Sunshine Football Officials Association. This past spring, Chris Hoban, a beloved 20-plus year member of the association and whose fellow crew members are officiating tonight's game, passed away from prostate cancer this past spring. During his distinguished career, Chris earned 3 FHSAA state championship assignments. He was a dedicated official, coach, mentor, and a friend to his crew and community. Tonight marks this crew's first regular season game without him. In recognition of Chris's lasting contributions to the game of high school football and its student athletes, please stand for a moment of silence in his honor. Thank you. And Chris, may you please watch over us from above and keep us all safe.
As a moment of silence here for a legendary FHSA official, as now we are finally getting ready for kickoff as Dominic McNally is ready to put toe to leather. St. Pete Catholic's defense will be on the field first. We'll get into that defense. A lot of new faces. St. Pete Catholic only contains 2 starters from that defense.
Dominic
that
McNally
dominated
getting
so
ready to
much a
kick
year
off for the
ago.
Barons. That seat to receive for the Jesuit Tigers.
For Jesuit is Houston Brooks, Lorenzo Alabajo.
Jimmy Bernard.
As McNally's kickoff
Bernard.
caught right at the goal line by Alabajo. And he's circled and dropped at the 17-yard line. Great kickoff return defense by the Barons.
Bernard stop.
That is Lee Gordon Jr. in there on the kickoff
Barons
coverage.
number 9.
Or excuse me, Kendrick Handy
Kendrick
in there.
Hendy
As
with the stop. Jesuit takes
Henry,
over
for the
first
Jesuit
and 10.
quarterback, is a familiar to us because he was at Northside last year, but new to Jesuit. What do you have to say about the Jesuit quarterback?
Yeah, he is a new
17-yard
familiar
Take the
face
work
to us.
Baron defense.
He was an 8th grade starter on varsity for Northside last year. Jack Griffin. He had 2,950 passing yards, 12 interceptions, and 27 touchdowns. Hopefully, it goes the way it did against Northside last year for the Barons.
The first play of the game goes to Davis, the running back. Dartmouth transfers, 3-star running back for a Jesuit. Averaged more than 100 yards per game. He picks up around 2 in 2nd and 8 for this Barons defense. The only 2 starters remaining from last year's defense is Chop Taylor, who you see running off the field right now, and number 6, Tylen Huff. He'll play a hybrid of linebacker and safety.
Jack Griffin joined by Hezekiah Davis.
Griffin flanked by Davis. Davis takes a handoff, running right, has a hole and a strong tackle. He's still going, bouncing off tacklers, tough to bring down. He picks up a tough 7 yards.
Davis brought down by Amari
Those two
Donaldson.
returners for SPC on the defensive side of
That's
the
going
ball
to be good for
are
a
going to be
Jesuit
very
first
crucial.
down.
You know, these are two guys that know how to win. That's Chop Taylor and Tylen Huff, who both had great seasons last year.
Yeah, but there's a lot of guys that this coaching staff is high on, specifically the interior D line. Is obviously with Robinson back in there, a stalwart on last year's team, but also some returners that didn't play a lot last year that they're expecting a lot of last year. As he did get a first down, a tough gain of 9, his 1st and 10 for Jack Griffin as he lines up in the shotgun.
Clarkson goes in motion to the right side.
Pitch goes to Avion Clarkson. He cups up the middle and he's met head on once again by Kendrick Handy, and he picks up around 3 yards there. His schedule will go fast here.
Kendrick Henry on a tackle for the Barons. Being a 4, going to bring up
to the right
2nd and 6.
Griffin, empty left side as he'll looking for a quick throw. Still looking, rolling back, caught by, there's a flag on the play. I think it's going to be a hold on Jesuit, but caught by David Hale, the most
flag on the play.
Most experienced receiver Jesuit returns this year. As we will wait on the flag. Griffin was clapping like it may have been roughing the passer. There was also what looked to me like a hole back there as well.
David Hill looks to be a little bit banged up after that play. Jogging back to the Jesuit
Personal foul roughing the passer against the Barons. It's going to be an additional 15. And an automatic first down for the Tigers.
And it is a roughing the passer. It's a 15-yard penalty. That ball will go all the way out to midfield for the Barons. As Jesuit, one of the most successful programs really the last 15 years, won't need any help like that from this Barons team.
That's you just got to try your best to avoid there. You know, you want to start off with a shutout from the defense and then carry on the momentum from there.
Jesuit sends 3 people in motion. Davis flanks Griffin on the left side. They'll hand it to Davis, running left, has a big hole, gashed up the middle, gain of 10. Nice run there by Davis, who had almost right under 1,400 yards last year.
Jeremiah Robinson on the stop for the Barons to bring up a first down for Jesuit.
Jesuit has the ball on the St. Pete Catholic 40-yard line here on this opening drive. 9:46 remaining in this first quarter. Once again, this is a preseason game. It does not count toward either team's actual record, but with the year St. Pete Catholic had last year and the tradition that Jesuit has, this was named a marquee game for a lot of reasons. Here's Griffin from shotgun, looking right, throws a deep ball down the field. Oh, great defense, great deflection there by Tylen, by Braylon Lane.
For Will
AJ
Braylon Lane on the shutdown coverage for the Barons. Going to make up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, me and the PA guy were both mixed up. It was Kendrick Tandy on the coverage. Great job getting a hand in there by Handy. We will say our right side is a little bit blurry here because of the rain. But Handy already making multiple big-time plays. He's a Lakewood transfer. Junior has 6 interceptions over his last 2 years, 3 per season. One of the reasons St. Pete Catholic is so confident in the secondary. Here's Griffin. Handoff up the middle, and he is met right away by Caden Graham right there in the middle. That will be a short gain of 2. We'll bring up 3rd and long.
And that's a great part of our defensive line. It's just being able to stop the run and stuff it right as soon as they break the line of scrimmage. That's what we did really well.
Bring up a 3rd down and 6.
Caden Graham, one of the guys that they're looking for to really step up. Coach Jesse told us. 4 wide receivers on the field for Jesuit. 3rd and about 6.5 from the Baron 36-yard line. Griffin claps his hands, fakes it, and he tripped up right away. What a play by Antelis Capello, a guy that Coach Jesse quoted a monster in our meeting yesterday.
Mateus Cavallo on the sack for the Barons.
That's a new player there for the Barons defense, and he's making it in pocket.
Bring up a 4th and 11 for the Tigers.
4th and 11 for Jesuit. Kind of in no man's land here. I think they're going to send out the punting unit.
Looks like they are.
Great stop by that Baron defense. The defense that this team thinks that could be better than last year's defense, which was a very stout group.
That's going to
have to be one good defense.
Line up his punter for Jesuit.
Oh.
Connor Pritchett back to receive for the Barons.
Jesuit will punt. You see number 1 in white. That is Henderson, the number 1 linebacker in the country. And we have Ben Beavers, the punter. He's lined up at Jesuit's 45-yard line. Beavers end over on punt. Not a good punt. heading out of bounds, and that will only net him about 20 yards. St. Pete Catholic will set up shop right
Over
at the
return.
30-yard line.
Barons will take over first and
As we
10.
will see Chase
at their
Burrow
own
for the
30-yard
first time
line.
this season. Burrow pretty much ranked number 1 in any platform that you want to look at on social media. Burrow coming off just an outrageously good year for the Barons last year, breaking every record really that was previously held, and he's looking to pick up right where he left off from a year ago.
I believe he will. I mean, he's one of those guys that he's very consistent in terms of QB play. You know, they only lost one game last year. It was the playoff game. You know, he still had a very solid game. So I expect big things from here in here, and I'm excited to see this first drive from the offense.
A big thing for St. Pete Catholic is they will have to replace all 3 of their top wide receivers from last year, Brendan Wright and Keyshawn Burks. 2 of the 3 as they will go hurry up here. Burrow immediately takes snap, handoff, fake to Christian, throws off to the side to Rise Rosado. Rosado turns up the field, gets about a gain of 3. A quick pass by Burrow. As Burrow looks over to Coach Jesse, seeing if they want to go fast, and they will. Tempo here for the Barons.
Second and 7.
That's what they did a lot of last year.
Here's Chase Burrow on the shotgun. St. Pete Catholic will be almost exclusively all shotgun. I snap over to one of their new playmakers, Trotter Pritchett, who loses a few. A great pursuit by the Jesuit defense. That is number 26, Cam Housey. Once again, Jesuit returns 10 of their 11 starters last year. Housey was one of their
third and 14 for the Barons
a year ago. 3rd and long for this Barons offense against a stout Jesuit defense. Burrow, clap his hands like Coach to Coach Jesse. Shorter flanked out to his left. Elijah Shorter was a start as a freshman on defense last year. Coach Jesse very excited about his transition over to offense this year. Burrow takes snap, fakes to Christian. Burrow looking right, throws back across the middle, cut by Pritchett across the middle, breaks the tackle, breaks another, and he's still going. Pritchett across the 50, and he's still going. Pritchett to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, across the 20, and he's brought down at the 18-yard line, a gain of over 60, a third and 14. What a play by the new St. Pete Catholic playmaker.
Trotter Pritchett comes up clutch for a stalling SPC offense on a big 3rd down. And here we go quick with this SPC offense.
The only thing slowing down that SPC offense right now is the chain game. They're going to be getting their steps in, going up and down for this offense. Burrow ready to go right back from the shotgun. Christian on his left. Burrow claps his hands, receives snap, hand off to Christian. Christian right up the gut, bounces right, works for a hard 3 yards. It will be 2nd and 7 from the Jesuit 16-yard line. What a throw that was by Burrow as well. On 30-14, layered that over all the linebackers, hitting Pritchett in stride.
Minimal gain.
That was their first run from SPC, so I expect to see a lot of that tonight.
Burrow once again as they got Jesuit to jump there, bounce back in time, no flag. That is the rule. If you do enter the neutral zone and there's no contact made, you can't jump back. As Burrow, once again, St. Pete Catholic will rarely, if ever, I don't remember one time Henry them being under center. As Burrow throws a quick pass out to Pritchett with Rosado out there to block, but a great tackle once again. That is King Powell, the secondary for this Jesuit team. Not afraid to come up and hit that regarding St. Powell multiple times, kind of up there with his numbers. He had 3 interceptions last year.
Here they go back to the shotgun. So
30-12, here we go. As Burrow looks back to Jesse. You would think that this is in the field goal range for Dominic McNally.
I would assume so. He didn't kick much field goals
not many field goals last year, but St. Pete Catholic also did not play the type of opponent of Jesuit. Burrow takes a snap, looking left, across the middle, and it's intercepted. That ball, I think, was deflected up the line. Here goes Trip Keller. Keller gets tripped up. Wow, what a clutch tackle there by Braylon Lane to save a touchdown there. That ball was deflected at the line of scrimmage as Burrow a little bit unlucky there as he looks up to the sky as he walks off the field as Coach Jesse.
Tigers take over first and 10.
Very open there on that play, I think.
Official timeout for water.
A little bit.
Yeah,
that ball, like you said, did get to
it. And Keller was in a perfect position reading the quarterback's eyes. And, when you're doing that, any kind of deflection
make sure you're getting down to the concession stand, getting yourself something to drink with the knee. It's all fun and games until you get that
a promising
cramp
first
in the
drive.
back of your leg.
Our open was cut a little bit short, but this
Stay
Jesuit
hydrated,
defense,
fans.
Henry,
Get to the
is not only
concession
one of
stand.
the best ones in the area, but really one of the best ones in the state. Rarely do you return 10 starters off a defense that was as good as Jesuit's last year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, if you want to look at SPC's defense, I mean, we had a phenomenal defense. We're only returning 2 starters. We had those guys that were seniors and they went on to play college ball. I could go on and list a couple of them, but if you were watching our pregame show, we talked a little bit about that. And as SPC comes back onto the field.
Here comes Jesuit back out there. What they did have to replace a lot was on offense. So that
There's
Jesuit
defense
offense
back
last year,
out on
obviously,
the
Will
field.
Griffin, he's at the
Jesuit
University of
on their
Florida
own
now.
45
Not
yard
too
line.
shabby for the former first-star
Jack
quarterback.
Griffin at
Caleb
the helm for the
Smith,
Tigers.
their leading receiver, he's at James Madison now, being coached by the former Florida coach, Bill Napier. As here comes Jesuit right back at it is Davis being hounded by almost the
Hezekiah
entire
Davis.
Baron defense, as that Baron front four looks strong early.
Tackled by David Afanu for a loss. We can bring up
Got
second
David Afanu in there.
and a long 12 for the Tigers.
But Coach Jesse Henry, correct me if I'm wrong, he seemed quite bullish on this front four when he talked to us the other day.
I'm not going to correct you because you're completely right there. Jesse was very fired up about his new guys there on the defensive line.
David Hill back in the game for Jesuit. He did hobble off in the last series. He is their leader, their leading receiver back at it. Quick throw by Griffin. It is incomplete.
Pass
Great
intended.
coverage there by
Will be.
Kendrick Handy, who's just been all over the
Brings
field
up a
recently.
3rd and 12 for the Tigers.
Kendrick Handy, a guy that they were super high on coming in. For
Time
the
for that
Barons.
Baron
Once again, 6
defense.
interceptions at Lakewood over the last 2 years. 3 each season. Comes over to St. Pete Catholic. He's already making his presence known. 3rd and 12 here for Jesuit. Griffin looking to his right, audibling toward the 2 receivers to his right. Takes a snap. It was a draw play. Back to Davis.
Late
Davis
handoff.
trying to punch it up, but there was just nothing. They can penetrate that ball for the Barons up front.
Hezekiah Davis dropped for a loss.
Yeah, Chop Taylor and Caballo both in there. 2 guys that St. Pete Catholic continues to be high
Boy,
on.
Taylor on the
And
top for
it
the
helps
Barons.
when you have
Leads
a
the charge.
former
That's going to
D1
bring up a 4th
player
down for the
as your
Tigers.
coach coaching those edge, Nate Temple, who was very nice enough to join our pregame show earlier today, providing some great insight as well. If you guys missed that, it's on the channel right underneath this game as well.
And Beavers to punt. The
Yeah,
Tigers.
always good to have a nice, veteran presence
Pritchett.
to give you advice for things
Set
that
to return for the
you
Barons.
want to take part in your future as a football player.
Pritchett back to return for the Barons. As he'll get it off. Line drive, back to Pritchett. Pritchett breaks a tackle, almost breaks a tackle, but is chopped down very nicely by
Picked on a
King
pick
Powell,
stop.
who's been all over the field for the
King
Barons.
Powell on the stop for Jesuit.
As SPC comes back onto the field and brings their offense with them. Hopefully
Thank
they
you.
look to capitalize off of this and score and then get momentum from there because the defense is doing a phenomenal job at stopping this offense.
Yeah, they sure are. It's the second offense here. The second offensive possession here for the Barons. As Burrow back out there, he's shorter.
Burrow
Out
going
to
in the
his left.
backfield
Someone again
from
that
a Christian.
St.
First
Catholic
and 10
is
for the
high on,
Barons.
coming out, playing strictly defense last year, now moving over to play receiver. That's number 4 in black, closest on your screen. As we're waiting for everything to get situated here. As if you're watching the stream, you'll see massive number 70, Quinston Howard, who's also an all-district bowler.
Yeah, he's
Not mistaken. Multiple Senator Sid pregame shows that the service has run to Christian. It's
Handoff to
sniffed out
Christian,
immediately.
tackle
That's
for a
Colton
loss.
Haywood, the leading tackler for Jesuit a season ago, making his first
Yeah,
tackle
Kathy on
of
top
the
for the
season
Tigers.
today.
Back to Quinston Howard. I mean, he's a
Second
junior
and
now.
13
He's
to the
been a
Barons.
starter at left tackle his freshman, sophomore, and junior year. And this summer, I mean, he really got a lot of offers. He even got some SEC schools in
Yeah,
there.
Mississippi State.
He got FSU.
FSU was in there as well. As Burrow from the gun. Fake to Christian. Burrow looking left, throwing left, looking for Pritchett. Intercepted again. That was an anticipation throw from Burrow, and it
Yes, that was
was
intercepted.
Cam Housey that read it right away.
By
He was in that
Cam
deep
Housey.
coverage there on the right side, and he ran back there and caught it over his head. It was really a great play by him.
You know, that's good defense and
Next in
execution by
Baron
that Jesuit
territory. First
defense.
and 10.
I mean, there really was no spot for Burrow to throw there, and I mean, he tried to find his open guy, throw it to the sideline, and just got picked off.
Yeah, this is why you try these things out in the preseason. Luckily, these numbers will not go to Chase's actual stats, but Coach Jesse coaching him up now. Still a young quarterback. A lot of expectations. You got to think, just 18 years old, a lot of expectations on Chase this season after what was an amazing season last year. And no doubt that he will raise up to those expectations. Here's Griffin handing it off left side. A sweet play for Jesuit and a lot of running room, but a great tackle out there by this Barons defense. Once again, it
Big handy on the
was
stop for the
Caden
Barons.
Handy for the
Up
Barons.
of 6 for the Tigers. They're bring up a 2nd and 4.
That was Trey Smith on the carry for Jesuit. Second and 4 for Jesuit. Griffin takes a snap. We have a flag.
Flag on the play.
Offsides. I think someone lined up in the neutral zone. This will give Jesuit an automatic first down.
Offsides against the Barons. In that case, 5 will get you 1. That's an automatic first down. Moving to change for Jesuit. It's outside the Baron 36-yard line.
Here's Griffin. And this time that run play is going nowhere. You see Chop Robinson in there once again for this defense. He was by number 50 there for the Barons.
For a loss, get some of that yardage back, and up a 2nd and long 13 for the Tigers.
Robinson, big number 99 there in the middle. Again, one of the 2 returning starters for St. Pete Catholic. 2 minutes left to go in this first quarter. Score is 0-0. Very rarely last year did you see no points in a quarter at Joe Paul Stadium, but both defenses up to the task early. Two running backs in the game once again for Jesuit. There's Davis and
timeout Tigers, first one of the half.
Both named Davis, but timeout Jesuit with under a minute to go in this first quarter.
Johnny, the Barons offense hasn't started off too hot, but defense wins championships. I mean, this is a stacked Jesuit offense that they've gone 0 for 2 in this game, and now their third drive that they're coming up on, it's not been the greatest. So if this defense keeps trending to perform the way they are, I don't see any reason that the offense doesn't move at the pace that they want to, and that they're eventually going to stack some points on the board. I mean, this offense.
Yeah, and this was the toughest defense by far St. Pete Catholic faced, even in the regional final. If you throw that in there, and now you're working in 8 new starters across the offense, all 3 receivers, 4 new offensive linemen as well. You only return Winston Howard, Chase, and then Larry Christian, who split time with in that backfield as well. Both the running backs, as you mentioned, in the open dealt with injuries. So we're about ready to finish out this first quarter here as Jesuit has the ball at the St. Pete Catholic 39-yard line following the Burrow interception.
14 for the Tigers.
Looking right, throwing back left. Screen pass out to Davis. Davis has blocking in front. Great play by Jesuit. A lot of open grass in front. Tylen Huff, the last resort, but he'll stumble into the end zone. Touchdown Jesuit. Great play designed by the Jesuit coaching staff. Throwback screen, and it was a whole lot of big bodies in front for Trey Smith.
And that's what I've seen from Jesuit in their first 3 drives is a lot of great play designs. I mean, Jack Griffin and their offensive coordinator who's calling the plays, it's just very creative in what they do, whether that's a fake screen pass going into a handoff or that play that they just ran there. But that was great blocking downfield.
Yeah, Jesuit coach Matt Thompson has put together quite impressive coaching staff as well. As Jesuit strikes first blood with 54 seconds left in this first quarter, as Ben Beavers will attempt the extra point.
Likely on the hold.
Beavers' extra point is up and through. 54 seconds left in this first quarter. Jesuit now leads
54 seconds remaining in the first
Chase
quarter.
Burrow will come back.
Put the first points on the board, 7-0.
Something that we didn't expect. The first 2 possessions ending in turnovers for this Barons offense, something they did rarely last season. But we have to be confident this Barons offense will bounce back.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about turnovers. We're talking about a quarterback that did 1 interception throughout the season last year. I'm not expecting it to be a turnover machine. I think it's just a little bit early struggles with that game. So we're good. But something I didn't expect is to play from behind. It'd be pretty cool if we could drive down the field just like that Charlotte Pritchett play earlier in the quarter here, where he just took 1 play to drive all the way down to close to the 20-yard line, and so if we could score a touchdown, tie it up, go into the second quarter, I think we should be good from there.
something that is at least a plus for this Barons defense. Not a lot until the last play, a lot of explosive plays. Even the last play, a well-executed screen pass. The defensive line has shown force early and not giving Griffin time to function. Took a heck of a play design for Jesuit to get their first chunk play. And again, this is with a Division I running back, and Davis, pick number 7, back there for Jesuit. But Andy and Pritchard back to receive for the Barons as they trail for the first time this season, as Beaver will get ready to boot this ball off. St. Catholic will wait for their third possession. Good kick by Beaver all the way back, and it will be a touchback. St. Catholic will bring it out to the 25-yard line with 54 seconds to go in this first quarter. What happened?
As we wrap up the first quarter,
sorry about that. We
Barons take over
knocked
first
out an
and 10 at the
HDMI
20-yard
I'll
line.
take the blame on that one. As 54 seconds to go here. As we want to shout out, we have a large crew. You guys will see throughout the sidelines. A lot of our new BSBN Sports Media group all around here. As we are expanding this program here in year 2. As Burrow takes a snap, hands it off to Christian. Christian running right behind big Quincy Howard, but a big time hit by Macho Mendez. That's a football name right there, Henry. As he was stopped by Christian to a 1-yard gain.
No gain. Bring up the 2nd and 10 to the Barons.
Senior Macho Mendez making that stop. St. Catholic, regardless, will go fast. 30 seconds left in this first quarter. Burrow takes snap, fakes to Christian. Quick pass out to Rosado. Rosado picks up 9 yards, and it'll be 3rd and short for the Barons. However, he fell forward. It will be a first down for the Barons because Rosado falling forward.
Something about Rosado. He didn't even start last year.
He did not. 24 seconds left. That's the clock does stop on first down. Still in high school. Not like in college or so. After only 2 minutes of the first half and the second half, Burrow takes a snap, hands it to Christian. Christian running right. Just tough running against a stout Jesuit defense. A whole lot of Tigers in there, including one of the leading tacklers from last year's Colton Hayward, as this will bring us to the end of the first quarter. But you never know with the St. Catholic offense. 2 seconds remaining, and that is it for the first quarter. St. Catholic is driving, but Jesuit does have the lead at the end of 1. We'll be right back after the break for the second quarter action.
And that's the end of the first quarter. Jesuit Tigers 7, St. Pete Catholic 0, with the Barons taking over to start. Burrow's pass falls incomplete.
Burrow's pass, though, goes incomplete for that one. Looking for some second quarter action for the Barons here, but down 7-0. They played from behind the playoffs last year. They should be able to do it in a preseason game against Jesuit here.
No doubt. As Henry Callahan, all-star play-by-play announcer for St. Pete Catholic, will take over play-by-play duties here in the second quarter.
Burrow looks at the sideline to get the nod from Jesse. Christian switches sides as Burrow takes the snap, fakes a handoff, drops back, fires over the middle to Pritchett, and he is met as soon as he catches it by King Powell. That is a big gain for the Barons as they pick up the first down and continue with this drive.
You know, Henry, we talked about 4 new starters along the offensive line. Chase could have done whatever he wanted back there. Great protection by the Barons O-line and a great play design by Coach Jesse as well. They had layered routes. He has one about 7 yards, one at about 15 yards, and then shorter on the go route and hit Pritchard across the middle there.
As he throws to number 2, the Braylon Lane on the screen pass, and he gets met up by Jesuit for a decent amount of yards.
Braylon Lynn, they say someone that stew role for last year, one of the quicker, kind of twitchy receivers.
King Powell on the stop. Here's a 2nd and 4 for the Barons.
Like you were saying about that offensive line, I mean, Burrow could take a nap back there as Christian gets the handoff, takes it up the right side, and is met by 2 defenders.
Off the right side.
Great cut outside, though, by Christian. Right when he
He's
got
gonna
that
stop
ball,
for Jesuit.
he immediately saw
Stop
2
this quarter
Jesuit
of the mark. We're
defenders.
going to look at a 3rd and 1 for the
Pretty
Barons.
patient running back.
And you know what name we have not called yet today? Caden Henderson. I mean, you
Oh.
guys see his numbers. He is all of the number 1 linebacker in the country. St. Pete has been doing a good job neutralizing him so far.
Yeah, he's definitely been quiet, to say the least. Burrow gets the sign from Jesse. Christian switches sides. Burrow gets a high snap, hands it off to Christian over the middle, is met at the line
Christian
by
looking to get
3
tough yardage.
different
Looks
Jesuit
like
defenders,
what he needed.
including Caden Henderson there.
And right on
Speaking
cue,
of
there
double.
is Caden Henderson.
Also met by
Brandon Briggs
number
at Jesuit
44,
front
Colton
four.
Haywood, who we've actually talked about
We'll bring up
a lot
a
on this
4th
broadcast
and 1
instead
for the
of
Barons.
Caden Henderson. So I guess he's kind of picking up where Caden's leaving off. We got
4th and 1 here. Big lineup in
Yeah,
there.
Christian,
Absolute
one more
big lineup.
time. That one's good to move his stick. That's good for a St. Pete Catholic. Rolling.
There was a number 90, Antonius Kobelu, in that defensive tackle who's in that offense formation. That's a new one for Jesse. I actually haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I love that little wildcat action there with Larry Christian pick up that first down. I love that. Even though it's tough sledding against this Jesuit defense, they're sticking with the run game.
Burrow fakes the handoff all the time in the world. He steps up into the pocket, fires to Pritchard, and it's caught over 2 defenders. And that is a first down for the Barons that puts them inside of the 20-yard line. And I mean, Johnny, how amazing has Pritchard been?
That was an outrageous catch. And how about the nerves of Chase Burrow? Those 2 interceptions,
There's your line.
don't care. You're still going to trust your receiver.
I mean, we're not even halfway through the game, and Pritchard's making so many big plays.
Rolling.
Burrow takes the snap, hand off to Christian over the middle. He's met by Haywood and brought down
Christian on the
a
carry.
yard or 2.
Colton Haywood has been
Haywood on the
impressive to
stop for
start this game.
Jesuit.
Both Colton Haywood, 44, number 3, 23, Fitz as well. Don't know if I've seen Fitz there, but there are the 2
2nd and 8 for the
returning
Barons.
leading tacklers for last year's Jesuit team, mostly because, like we mentioned, with Henderson, that he missed a majority of last year.
High snap for Burrow, loses it, but recovers it back. He's rolling out to his left, looking for a receiver to throw to, fires, and it's broken up by number 25. 26, I'm sorry,
down for the Barons.
for Jesuit, Cam Housey. That was good defense there, but, you know, that was still a good offensive play by Burrow, recovering from that high snap.
Yeah, it's been quite a few high snaps to start here. Obviously, Jake Hogan there doing very good so far, but snap got away from him a little bit.
And that's a first-year starter from him. He's a junior, and, you know, I mean, the blocking's been impressive. I mean, we've talked about it a couple times. We got 4 new starters in the offensive line. As Rosado goes to the right side. Burrow takes it, fake handoff. Getting pressured, but fires over the middle, and it's too high for shorter as he was pressured by number 36.
Target flag on the play.
He was pressured by Nolan Dooley there. As we await to see what the flag is on. There we go.
Legal man downfield against the Barons. That penalty is declined. They bring up a 4th and
So
8
that's going
for
to
the
be a legal
Barons.
man downfield for the Barons there. I mean, that's a tough one. After such a good drive, such good execution by the offense, that one's a tough one to have. Just a silly penalty there. But that brings up a 4th down, and Dominic McNally will line up for the field goal.
Matt
Like
O'Shea
me
on
and
the
Johnny
snap.
said earlier in the game, that's something he didn't do
Well, on the
much.
hold,
The
McNally
offense
can
last
tap the
year
field goal.
was scoring touchdowns on pretty much every drive, and he didn't get many opportunities to kick a field goal. But here it goes. It is up, and it's
It's up.
blocked
Tipped at the line.
by
No good.
number 10 from Jesuit, Bruin Green.
Jesuit takes over
So,
inside their 10-yard line.
although
1st and
such
10.
a phenomenal drive there by the Barons, it results in 0 points and Jesuit ball. But that is okay, considering, we have such a phenomenal defense, and, we should be able to stop them here. I kind of want to touch on the offensive line a little bit. We had a phenomenal offensive line last year, but that was, built of mainly seniors besides Quinston Howard, who is a great left tackle. But for everyone else, all 4 people on that offensive line, they are new players. I mean, we have Jake Hogan, who got a little bit of playtime last year. He's a bit of a 6-man for the offensive line, but mainly a JV player. And then LaDamian Barnes, who is from St. Pete. As we go into this Jesuit drive, low snap from Griffin, but he hands it off over the middle to Davis, and he gets a big chunky yardage,
on the
including
carry.
a first down, as he's met by multiple SPC
Jaden Grant wants to
defenders.
stop for the Barons, but not before Tigers 1st down.
A little something different if you're comparing the offenses is Jesuit. They're slow. They're taking their time. SPC kind of similar to last year. I'm not saying it's a bad thing or anything, but they are very quick. Again, similar to last year. So that's just a pretty big difference there from these 2 offenses, as Jack Griffin is motioning the offense around, but the refs blow the whistle to stop this. Not exactly sure what's going on. I don't think the players do either. And we will go to our BSPN student, Lily McGrath.
Hey Barons, my name is Lily McGrath, and I'm reporting from the sidelines for our first football game this season. The energy tonight, combined with our parent and student section, is unmatched. We are so excited to finally be back playing. We all remember last year's incredible season, 10-0 regular season, and run to the regional finals. A massive reason for success is right behind me on the field. Senior quarterback Chase Burrell is back after completely smashing the Pinellas County all-time regular season with an insane 53 passing touchdowns. Keeping his blind side protected is junior Quinston Howard with 19 Division I offers as a left tackle. He has powerhouse schools from Florida State, Mississippi State, Rhode Island, and Iowa. The players feel the pressure, but they are feeding off this crowd. They walked through the Baron Walk earlier with our fans cheering and Barons on the side, everyone having a great time. After a summer of long hours training, studying film, and seeing the hard work pay off, the Barons are officially back. They are hungry, ready to prove that last year wasn't just a one-time thing, and it was just the beginning of our new season. Thank you guys, and back to the booth.
Slow drive here from Jesuit as we are back on the field. Jack Griffin takes off, and he's met by Tylen Huff and Tristan Williams. Tylen Huff showing off a little bit there. And Tristan ended up with the ball, but there is a flag on the field. We will see what that is.
That was so good.
That was a slow drive there from Jesuit that brought up a 3rd down and a little bit of pressure in the pocket for Jack Griffin. He got away from it. Again, there's a flag on the field, so we see what that is.
Call was holding against the Tigers. Going to back them up and replay 3rd down.
How about our elite sideline reporter there, Henry?
Lily McGrath.
I mean,
She really knows how to do some sideline reporting, doesn't she, John?
Third and zip code for the Tigers. Time for the Baron
As once again,
defense.
we are expanding our sports media program here at St. Pete Catholic. Again, if you look, not sure I'll tell you on the screen because our amazing cameraman up here in the booth capturing a whole bunch of the field, but a whole lot of people around the field gathering all kinds of content. Again, like Henry mentioned in the pregame, if you want to see more of that content, go ahead to our Instagram, BSBN Entertainment.
Number 17 there for Jesuit, Caden Higuero.
Nico Robinson on the
Catches the
tackle.
pass
for
on the
Baron.
third down, and that is too short to pick up the first down there for Jesuit, so they will bring the
Gonna
punt
bring up
team
a
on.
fourth down for the Tigers.
And
Here for that Baron defense.
SPC will
Jamaica Robinson right there with the big time tackle there. And the St. Pete Catholic defense continues, outside of one play, continues to be extremely strong.
Aaron Micio is playing with the club right now. He has a hurt wrist, I believe. So, any play you see from him tonight is going to be a really, impressive
Braylon
play
Lane back to
considering he is
receive
playing
for
with
the
the club.
Barons.
I'm sure that's probably his first
Here's
time
the
playing with the
punt.
club. I'm not exactly sure. But Jesuit punts it away, almost blocked there from the Barons. Braylon Lane is back there, but he will let it bounce, and
Let
it
that
goes
one roll.
close in between the 20 and 25-yard line there.
I will say, when I was talking with Nate Temple and a few other coaches, they highlighted Jesuit special team as strength
He's
of
going to
theirs
take over at
last,
their own
last season,
22-yard line.
specifically the punt block.
6:56 remaining
St.
in
Pete
the
Catholic,
second quarter.
Weirdly
Tigers
enough,
7,
has not
St. Pete
punted yet
Catholic 0.
this game, but Jesuit, you don't get to be as good as they have the past really 20 years now without being strong in all three phases.
Yeah, right. I'm not trying to be a hater, no nothing. But Johnny, you did hear me say to you before the broadcast started, in Jesuit's warm-ups, the special teams didn't look too great, and that could be, because it was raining and it's a muddy field and stuff like that. But
They're pretty good. New sod, by the way, here
Oh,
at
yeah.
St. Pete Catholic. They were a little bit worried how they would do with the rain, but I think the field looks pretty nice.
Look,
Shout out Ryan Mueller, the athletic director. I caught him when he was painting the field earlier today,
wow.
but
as Larry Christian takes it
Christian
up
off
the
the
middle,
right side.
he's
Pulls it back
met
in.
by Jesuit defenders to pick up a couple yards, and that'll bring up a second down. Talking about the field, let's just stick to that topic. We have a nice SPC logo in the middle of the field. I don't think we had that last year. And then we have
Nice
Barons in the end
brings
zone.
up a
That looks great. I don't remember that from
and
last
6 for the
year.
Barons.
So shout out whoever's maintaining this field.
yeah, it takes a team effort. As this is not great. I believe Jake Hogan just hobbled off the field.
No, that's
Not Jake Hogan.
number 56.
Daniel Heinbach, one of the transfers, someone they're very high on as well. Left guard for the Barons. So a new left guard is in 51, Matthew Lockley.
He was a JV player last year. This is his senior year. As Burrow takes the snap, fires to Raj Rosado, and he gets a good gain as he's brought down by three
Well,
Jesuit
Mr.
defenders, including
Rosado.
Caden Henderson. That's going to be number 24 alongside him, Colt Olson.
And with that yardage, that's
You
going
know,
to be good
And
for
they
a
are
St. Pete
moving the
Catholic.
chains.
Water
Oh.
break here now.
Time out for water.
On the game here, but we mentioned a lot of the new players for St. Pete Catholic. We've also mentioned a lot of returners that have stepped up and taken a bigger role.
Yeah.
Which has been great to see as well. We've seen that across the defensive line, and obviously on the offensive line. Now you had two guys who were playing JV last year, now playing against one of the better fronts in the Tampa Bay area.
And we could even name some of those guys. You got Jake Hogan, and you thought he was getting injured. I'm glad he didn't get injured. You know
Yeah,
why?
me too.
Because this is a guy that has a lot of passion for the game of football.
A lot
I mean,
of passion.
he loves it, not only on the field, but he loves it off the field. He has a lot of drive, and all he wants to do is be great at the game, and it's showing. He puts in the work, and he got the starting role.
Jake Hogan, someone you will be seeing on our volleyball broadcast once that starts. I believe the first volleyball game August 24th. So we'll be broadcasting every game for every Baron sport this year as well. So multi-faceted Jake Hogan, I should say.
He's also a multi-sport athlete.
Is that right?
Lacrosse.
There you go. Shout out to the lacrosse program. A lot of
You know,
lacrosse players up here.
now that we're at water break, can I just point out how the fog in the window went away?
That
I'm
is
just
true.
Very glad about that.
We really struggled at the beginning with the numbers because our windows were completely fogged up from the humidity after the rain. I believe everyone watching here has spent at least a little bit of time in the Tampa area, so you guys can sympathize with us a little bit here. We're about ready to start again here from the water break. But you're right, Henry. It was pretty brutal for the start of that game with the fog.
So this is an upcoming first down. Burrow screen pass to Pritchett. He breaks through a defender. Good blocking up the field. He takes the sideline, He jukes Caden Henderson, but Caden, oh my goodness, tackles him from the behind. Pause.
Yeah, he didn't
Good
take that.
carry for the Barons,
Just
and that's
not
good
like
for a
he did
safety
there. And
Catholic.
we're talking about Jake Hogan. Jake Hogan has the block, bringing that screen pass there. Great seal off block there by Jake, and what he gained probably about 10 yards there.
That'll get a first down for the Barons as Burl steps up in the pocket, fires to the left side, and that's Elijah Schroeder who breaks free from the defender, walks freely into the end zone, and that'll start the Barons off this game at 6 for the Barons.
You can't hold down Chase Burrow for long. That was a great. We talked about the route concepts on the last play, where you had one going over the middle, one going long. It was the same play. So this time Chase hit shorter going down the field, and he put that on the dot. What a throw there by Burrow. Great route there by Shorter and St. Catholic's on the field.
You know, that reminds me a lot of last year from Urel Stewart. If you viewers remember, I know Johnny remembers. Urel Stewart was a star, but that deep ball connection from Burrow to Urel, I guess that's going to continue with
Elijah
Shorter.
And they're a little bit of a different build, receiver-wise. Shorter a little bit bigger,
on the
but
hold.
just a sophomore as
almost blocked once again, but McNally gets it through the uprights, and that'll tie the game 7-7. And the kickoff team will come on for the Barons.
St. Catholic on the St. Catholic on the board for the first time this season, and we're talking about all those new faces. Elijah Shorter, and I know when you hear kind of cornerback, wide receiver, you might think they're similar. They're very different in terms of obviously the concept of them. For Shorter, it's just a sophomore being able to make that transition. And again, he's someone Coach Jesse talked about a very high expectations for Elijah Shorter on this side of the ball, and just proves the work ethic that he has to be able to be that elite at both. Because he picked up a few Division I offers last year as a freshman.
I think there's so many impressive things about Shorter. The most impressive thing to me is last year that was his first time playing DB. He was a two-way player. That was his first time playing DB, and now he's mainly playing receiver. So he's kind of all over the place for his first 2 years of high school football, and he is, meeting those expectations greatly.
What they call that in the recruiting world? An athlete. Yeah. And that's exactly what Elijah Shorter is.
He can do everything, just like the potato. I mean, tater tot, French fry, baked potato. He's everywhere. As 21 for Jesuit, who brings back the return. Easton Brooks breaks free from a few defenders.
Shout out Dominic McNally. This is not good for the Baron.
Leg on the stop for the Baron.
It's slow to get up as he right on the 45-yard line.
Clear down.
There.
Like you said, shout out Dominic McNally. Got a little bit of dirt on his jersey there. No time to joke. That return was definitely crucial there for the Barons. Just considering, offense just did their part, tied it up. Now, the Barons are gonna have to play some defense closer to the 50-yard line.
Yeah, thoughts here with Andy. Obviously, another one of the transfers they're very high on coming in as he reaches his hands up to get helped up. Hopefully, it's just a little bit maybe of a stinger as he. Walking off a little
Gentlemen O'Brien, good to see him back up.
I don't think
but looks like it's favoring his right leg. Hopefully it's just a cramp, I should say. I do want to shout out over 100 people currently live right now. I appreciate all you guys tuning in here. We will be live from every football game. Next Friday is the season opener for St. Catholic against Gibbs. It is Baron Bash as well. So if you guys are listening and want to make it to the game, Baron Bash is probably one of the best games to come to. There'll be a full tailgate, I believe, starting at 5:30. Right in front of the Learning Commons as well. But if you guys can't make it, we'll be right back here with the stream once again next week.
Yeah, and if you guys can't make it, just make sure you get here for the game. That's when it matters. As Jack Griffin hands it off to Davis, as he breaks free through the middle, chased down by Shorter, but he is unable to catch him as he walks into the end zone and celebrates. That'll be a touchdown for Jesuit. I mean, great downfield blocking from Jesuit. That's been shown all game, so that's not really much of a shocker there. So
Davis last year as a junior was probably, arguably, I won't say probably because obviously Will Griffin's on that team, but one of their top playmakers. And again, he's a three-star who had multiple Division I offers committed to Dartmouth, and I was really impressed throughout the first quarter and a half. St. Catholic was able to contain him. But when you have a talent like that, it's only a matter of time to beat breaks. Well, unfortunately, it's right after St. Catholic finally got some momentum.
Definitely unfortunate there. But you know, if you look at the upside of this, you know, that was one play drive there from Jesuit. There's going to be a lot more time for Chase Burrow leading this offense down the field. Got 5 minutes left until halftime.
Beavers to attempt the extra point.
Extra points up, and it's good. Right down the middle of the upright. So that'll make it 14-7.
In the second
Jesuit leads here.
13, CP Catholic 7. Fans, reminder, your second stand is there and waiting on you. Get a jump on the line before halftime.
Yeah.
Plenty of food and snacks and beverages ready to go.
So if you're here at the game, run that up. I'm not sure if you're watching.
I don't know if anyone here is listen to the broadcast. Watching the game.
Last year, there was a lot of Broadway players. Kind of, glad that they found a different variety of music to play because listening to Broadway 24/7 wasn't the greatest.
With our new streaming software as well, we should be able to also go live on Instagram as we. Oh, that's what we're trying to do now. But
look at this kickoff.
Lane and Shorter back to receive
they break
for
out.
the Barons.
Oh, little fake kick, and then they. Wow, I didn't notice that. That's pretty cool. As Beavers lines up the kickoff here. And we got Braylon Lane and Elijah Shorter in the backfield. Elijah Shorter really just doesn't get off the field. Like you said, he's such an athlete. As Lane receives it, he's going downfield. Oh, smashed by Caden Henderson.
Like
Henderson came out of nowhere.
It was only a matter of time till he made a play. He's too gifted not to. And my
Lane
goodness,
on the return
how
with
about
a
Lane
quick
popping
top.
right back up, man? I tell you what,
Barons
that's
take
about
over first
6
and
inches
10
and
on
probably
their 20-yard
100-pound weight
line.
difference there.
5:19
And Lane
remaining.
got hit hard, and he's going to stay in the game. And that's definition of toughness right there.
Absolutely. And, you know, for Lane to be a new transfer for the Barons here this year, that's the kind of thing we want to see out of him. Just grit and passion for the game.
Big drive here for the Barons, it feels like. Got to get that momentum right back.
Christian up the middle, met by
Jesuit
Jesuit defenders.
The Barons.
Pick up around 3 yards and bring up a second down.
And if you notice, Henry, the runs for Christian started 0 yards, 1 yard in the first quarter.
Smith on the
Now all of a
stop
sudden
for
you get the
Jesuit.
gashes for 8, 9, 10. Now one only for
Second
4.
and
But
long
for this
five
pass
for the
game to
Barons.
be what it needs to be, the run game needs to be there as well.
Burrow again with the handoff to Christian as he breaks free through a little bit of the defensive line, picks up a couple more yards, and that'll be
Christian
a third and
Gonna
manageable.
bring up a
Yeah.
third
I did
and
not
2
expect
for the Barons.
Christian to go through all 4 quarters of this game and be quiet. I mean, considering what he did last year, he was absolutely electric, and they're going to feed him the Burrow looking at the calls here from the sideline. 14 from Jesuit creeping up. As Burrow rolls out to his right, passes to Raj Rosano, hits the sideline, and I believe he picks up the first down there as he steps out of bounds.
Great block there by Pritchett there on that. We've talked about him multiple times down the field making plays. But how about him right there throwing the block, Henry, to spree that first down?
As we are still going to be in a hurry up. Burrow high snap, fake handoff, hits the sideline to Braylon Lane, dropped. He's met by Jamie Benyard Jr. I haven't said his name.
Jesuit. You wonder how this team would utilize
Second and 10 for the Barons.
being a preseason game. If they want to get looks at certain plays, I'm not saying Ben Yard is going to be a bench player by any means, but just like you were saying, some corners when they play there.
Yeah, Christian up middle. He's met by the defensive line, blocking kind of got a little off there at the line of scrimmage. So That'll bring up a crucial third down for the Barons here.
Yeah,
If they want to make a push to get this game at halftime, this is when they're going to want to do it.
Nolan Dooley in there for Jesuit, big 36 there.
3rd and 10 for the Barons.
Nickel linebacker hybrid, as right now he's lined up over Rosado on the left side.
A little bit of a Cooper DeSheen type of player, huh?
Yeah, I think he's a little bit more linebacker than Cooper, but that kind of mold. Just had to bring in your Eagles. Huh?
Yeah. As Burrow takes the snap, steps back in the pocket, fires to Braylon Lane, but it's intercepted by number 14, Owen
That's
Pisansky.
intercepted.
This one is strictly Burrow didn't see
By
it. He
Owen
dropped back in the
Pisansky.
coverage. He
That's
faked the
gonna
blitz and
give
dropped
the
right back in the
Tigers
stop zone right there. And Burrow never saw him. He thought he had
Good
an open
position
hitch,
inside Barons
open hitch
territory,
pass right
1st
there
and
to the
10.
lane, and it just caught him by surprise. The first two were ones that weren't necessarily on Burrow, but that one just got confused a little bit there. And once again, we now 2 splash plays by Jesuit, 1 offensively, both on 1 defensively, doing a great job of misdirection, disguising one time for the screenplay, and one time a great job at being deceptive there. That's it.
Jesuits offense lines back up on the field as Griffin hands it off to 22 for Jesuit, Bakari Pierce, but the refs blow the whistle, stop this play, make it dead. And we will see why in just about a few seconds.
Now, I think there's a second time already that
Legal substitution against the
legal
Barons. That's a free 5.
Braylon Lane
Brings
talking
up
to
a
a
1st
coach.
and 5 for the
It
Tigers.
looks like it was a bit of miscommunication by Lane's reactions.
yeah,
So
and now is the time you want to work out these kinks.
when
you
it doesn't fully matter.
Yes, obviously this game matters. And by the way, great crowd out for this game. Shout out all of Baron Nation that it is here, right around capacity here at Joe Paul Stadium. But this is when you want to work out these kinks before next weekend's games.
Griffin steps up in the pocket, fires deep for 13, and it's caught. What a catch. And they're going to call it inbounds, but that was
Neil O'Brien
From my
on the
angle,
reception.
unless he got a foot down, he landed out of bounds. So I don't know if the
Set
ref
up
saw
the
that.
Tigers
Regardless,
inside.
a heck of a catch by Brian there. Freshman there.
that was a phenomenal catch. That was even better defense, though, Johnny. I mean, Jerry Misio, Robinson played
Good
great
offense
defense.
beats good defense.
1st and goal for the Tigers.
Great throw also by Griffin. And we've been waiting for him to throw one down the field. It's been a lot of dink and dunk, and he put that one right on it.
Right. As Davis takes it up the middle, but the flags
Flag on the
fly,
play.
and he's met behind the line of scrimmage by this amazing defensive line for the
Right
Barons.
behind the line of
That's going to be
scrimmage.
number 90, Kabalu.
Yeah, Chop Robinson in there as well. 17, Salito has been all over the field as well for the Barons, one of those edge rushers that Coach Jesse was high on as well. As this was an illegal shift by Jesuit. So they're asking the St. Pete Catholic bench if they want to decline it and make it 2nd down.
Ball start against the offense.
That penalty will be declined. So they'll take the tackle for loss of the 5 yards and make it 2nd down.
Penalties declined by the Barons. We bring up a 2nd and 8.
That'll back Tigers a little bit, which is definitely good for the Barons, considering we have a little under 3 minutes left.
St. Pete Catholic does good ball start 2nd half. So that's something to think. If you can somehow hold Jesuit to 3 here, and then we know how explosive the offense can be.
Maybe even 0. You never know. Griffin under center loses the ball, but I think he dives on it and recovered it right back. That's a good little scare to put into
Oh, yeah.
Griffin.
Oh, yeah.
Griffin
That's a
recovers
play
for
there
the
by
Tigers.
Griffin, 'cause I'll
Bring
tell you
up
what,
a 3rd and
Chop
goal.
was right on top of him, right as
Here's
that
that
ball
Baron
went there.
I mean, do you
defense.
really want to go under center when you have Coy Chop Taylor right in front of you? I mean,
Not really.
That's
He's
a
been-
little bit intimidating.
I'll tell you what, he's been impressive. But both him and Cabello, have both been impressive. Big 90. I mean, just looking here, we're 70 yards away in the press box, and both have an incredibly impressive game to start here. Big 3rd down here for St. Pete Catholic.
Griffin again loses the ball and dives on it.
Still-
Uh-oh, it's still loose.
Oh, it's still loose. That ball popped out. St. Pete Catholic has it. They do have it.
I was right. They held them to 0 points on that drive, and the Barons will get the ball off on offense with 1 minute and 45 seconds left to go. And Johnny, if we know this Barons offense, they know how to work in crunch time. They can definitely tie this game up before halftime strikes. and I believe they will.
That was
Look at that bend, don't break
by the
defense.
defensive line. Yes, you have
Barons
the error
take
by
over
Griffin,
first and
but the
10
fact
with a
that
minute
they get to
45
that
left.
ball.
Come on now. I mean, that was what, like 10 yards back, and they all got to the ball.
And we
They-
talked about could be a big time momentum changing play here.
That's SPC is quick to get their offense onto the field. Looking to capitalize off of that momentum that the defense just handed them. And now they get the ball around the 20-yard line with Christian in the backfield. Earl, 2 claps, doesn't get the snap. Looks to the sideline for a call. Burrow, fake handoff to his right, stepping up in the pocket, and he is taken down by 3 Jesuit defensive
Burrow.
linemen, including number 33. That's going to be Mario Mendez. We said his name before on the broadcast.
Yeah, Max Curtin in there as well. And not bad protection there,
Second
but
and
when Burrow
15
tried to
for the
step
Barons.
up there, they were able to get to it.
You know, I like that out of Burrow. You know, trying to step up, find different things, maybe taking himself. That was a better read than earlier in the games. Or earlier in the game. Burrow takes the snap, drops back pressured, but screen pass to Larry Christian is incomplete as it bounces off his
Pass
helmet.
intended for
That was a little bit
Christian,
quicker
gonna
than
have a third and
and Larry
14.
Christian was able to turn his
there.
head. But at least it was just an incomplete pass. So clock will stop at a minute 2.
Let's get the ball to start the second half. So, you know, already 3 turnovers so far for the Barons. Cannot have a turnover here and give the opportunity for Jesuit to get more points before the half.
So it was a big third down for the Barons. Maybe we could get another big play. Burrow drops back, rolling to his left, doesn't see a defender, gets blindsided by number 99 from the Jesuit Tigers, and that is going to be Ben Henderson there for the Tigers.
Ben Henderson
6'5"
on the
Ben
sack.
Henderson there. And LaDamian Barnes, who's been a stalwart right there at right tackle, someone they're really excited about, got beat there. And like I said, Jesuit calling a
Brings
timeout
up
here
a
to
fourth
save
and forever for the
save
Barons.
some clock. But these are good situations to be
Timeout
in, Henry, because
Tigers.
how many times last year did St. Catholic have to punt in the shadow of their own goal line?
You know, not many.
So these are good situations to be in just to wrap, you know, when they get deep into where Coach Jesse told us where they want to be, which is the state championship and the state playoffs.
You know, you got to go through some struggles to, you know, eventually get to the top tier of where you want to be. So, you know, fighting through this.
I think Coach Jesse will definitely take these struggles on, what's today, August 13th and August 14th compared to the rest of the season here. And this was so great about the preseason, and what, you know, Mr. B and Ryan and Coach Jesse, this entire administration wanted was to play some tough competition like this to get them ready for what is going to be a much tougher schedule than last season.
Marcelo Morales back to punt for the Barons.
Barons punt for the first time this
Feller.
game.
New long stopper Matt
Kenny
O'Shea
Benyard.
also.
Also,
Return
new punter
to the
Marcelo
Tigers.
Morales. So,
And he has his heels on the goal line. Once again, not something that St. Catholic, I don't think a single time had to do last year. So at the very least, good reps here.
Marcelo gets it. Punt is up. And it goes to number 4. That's going to be Jamie Benyard. As he's chased down by Matt O'Shea. And Matt O'Shea is laid out.
It's
And
going to be a
Tyler
block in the back, though.
Huff brings down Benyard.
Matt O'Shea, the line snapper getting down there and drawing
Flag on the play.
penalty. Great job by O'Shea. This will be a block back on Judge for sure.
First play by Matt O'Shea playing football here for the Barons and make it a big impact, I guess, you know.
That's what back Jesuit should be another 10 yards back. So we talked about the Jesuits first month. They only netted about 15 yards. This is going to net St. Catholic right about 55, 60 yards when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
As it is officially a block in the back for Jesuit. Great job by the special teams unit I know Nate Temple had his hands in
Penalty
there as
against the
well.
Tigers.
The special
Puts
teams
10 yards
unit,
back.
as does Garrett
Be first and 10
Valerio
on their
as well,
40-yard
special
line. 34 seconds
for
remaining
Sandy
on game
Catholic. So,
clock. Second quarter.
see if Jesuit's aggressive here.
Griffin rolls to his right after taking the snap under a little bit of pressure, and it's dropped by David Hill going to the
Pass
sideline.
intended for Hill.
I do like that
Ball
at Jesuit, though.
incomplete.
It's a
He's up to second and 10.
high floor throw, if that makes sense. So not a lot could have gone wrong with that throw, getting Griffin on the move and throwing it to the guy that is your leading receiver from last season.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen a little bit of that from the Barons, getting Chase Burrow out of the pocket. But he's also done a good job at staying calm in the pocket, too, as Griffin fires to the right side. And it's out of bounds as, whoa. David Hill takes his helmet off.
This should be a penalty on
Flag on
Jesuit.
the play.
See, you're not allowed to take your penalty off, your helmet off when you're on the field. I mean, unless they're going to get a hold, but he took his helmet off on his own.
Yeah, I don't think Jesuit Robinson took it off.
At the very least, this is going to be offsetting, but it should be going to go up against Jesuit.
That's why I had a little bit of a weird reaction to that play. I've actually never seen that since.
Well, St. Catholic on both sides were playing bump and rug coverage. They had both corners up and press man, and we're about to see what the call is here.
I haven't seen anything like that since 2020 DJ Moore, the Panthers against the Falcons.
As we'll see what we have here. Yeah, it is going to be
contact against the Tigers. It's going to take them back 15.
As I now expect Jesuit to take a knee and just get out of this first half. And, there was no penalty called there, so you have to think it was great. It was great coverage by the Barons on both sides. We saw Handy on one side, and we saw Jeremiah Robinson on the other. Anytime you cause a receiver to throw his helmet off in frustration, must be doing something right. Also, good to see Handy back on the field after getting off gingerly during the last kickoff a few possessions ago. As timeout, St. Catholic here.
Timeout, Barons.
They want to just, make sure don't get beat behind you. You would think Jesuit would go to a run here, just 24 seconds left in this first half. But there wasn't many times last year, definitely in the regular season, where St. Catholic didn't put up a running clock.
Yeah. That rule where I don't know exactly how much it is. What is it? Might be.
I think 6 touchdowns or something. 42-7, 42 points, 35 points.
Something
or
like that.
It's a running clock for. I think it starts in the second half and continue from there. But
yeah, with the Barons in the regular season last year, there was a long stretch of games where it was either 50, above 50, or a little bit below.
Updates
and
going
that
on
was
during
just
the
something
game.
very impressive. These games went quick last year, very quick. And I feel like last year this entire game was like this half, and we still got a half left to play of football. So this should be exciting considering it's only 14-7. It's a one possession game, right? Yeah. As Griffin throws to the left side to number 0, targeting number 0, Clarkson, but it's out of bounds, just like his last pass to Hill. Again, another defended well play by the Barons.
Third down for the Tigers.
That'll bring up third down for Jesuit with 19 seconds left to go here in this half. Jesuit up 14-7. I don't know how much they're going to be able to capitalize. They're going to need a big play here on this third down. For them, it would be crucial if they really want to score.
And we did lose our camera for 1 second. We are aware of that, so we'll be right back to that in 1 second. So a run there should bring us to halftime. So we'll be right back with the second half with our camera back up and running. Oh, timeout, I think, by Jesuit, actually.
So keep these 10 seconds going here for this Jesuit offense. That'll bring up a fourth down with that complete pass there to the running back. There's a screen.
Timeout, Jesuit. That is their last of the half. Fans, don't forget that
As I
the
believe we're back
concession
with the
stand
camera.
is
Sorry
ready
about
and
that.
open and waiting on you. Also, for your halftime entertainment, we will have the St. Petersburg Catholic cheerleading team. Pritchett back deep to return for the Barons. He was on the punt for the Tigers.
Jesuit decides to punt here on the 4th down with 10 seconds left, so I'm not exactly sure how much action's really going to happen with the rest of the first half. But number 5, that's going to be Shadrick Pritchett back there for the Barons as he lets it bounce, and 47 from Jesuit. Don't have 47 on the roster.
Tigers with a touch.
Anyway, that'll bring
And
us
with
to
that, we
halftime.
are
We'll be
in
back
break.
for the second half
Jesuit Tigers
right after
14,
this.
St. Petersburg Catholic Barons 7. They want to they will be receiving to start the second half. If you've been sitting here and enjoying the ads done by local businesses who you work for,
7-2 Jesuits.
your
An
ad up
eventful
there
first half, I would say. Henry, to say the very least. We saw 4 turnovers and only touchdowns, a bunch of big plays, and kind of the stuff you'd expect in a preseason game with two teams trying to iron out some of the kinks.
Ryan Mueller, athletic director.
John, something that I'm noticing is it feels a lot worse than it really is. I mean, this is 14-7. It's a one-possession game.
Yeah.
It's been slow really since the start of the game, but there's obviously been some spurts here and there. But this is anyone's game right now. You know, Jesuit has a 7-point lead, but the Barons can easily overcome that, score a touchdown, tie it up, field goal, or a touchdown to take the lead.
Yeah, you're right. If you're St. Catholic, you have to be optimistic about where you're at now. Because if you'd have told Jesse at halftime you guys had 3 turnovers and given up a 50-yard touchdown, I think he said we'd be down multiple scores. St. Catholic finds themselves only down 7, and they will get the ball to start the second half here at John Paul Stadium as we get ready for the second half. But a reminder, next week is the actual home here at John Paul Stadium. It will be St. Catholic versus Gibbs with Baron Bash starting at 5:30 right in front of the Learning Commons. So stacked home schedule this year for St. Catholic. We get CCC at home also in week 5, which is a big game. First time we've played them in a little bit, and some big things obviously to come in the fall.
Yeah, we talked about that CCC game on the pre-show.
Beavers kicks it off. It will sail back into the end zone. I'll tell you what, special teams for Jesuit has been as advertised. How many touchbacks have we seen last season?
Oh yeah,
a ton,
for sure. There wasn't very many competent kickers like we have here with Beavers for Jesuit.
St. Catholic's offense will step back out to the field as Elijah Shorter will be coming out trying to extend on what was a fantastic first half for him. He has the one Baron touchdown Shorter does as Chase Burrow, I think, finally started to find a groove at the end of the first half.
Yeah, I think so too. And, you know, that's definitely hard considering he's had 3 turnovers. It's kind of hard to dig yourself out of that hole there. As he takes the snap, hands it off to Christian. He breaks a couple tackles and finds the edge. And I think he meets kind of right back at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, we talked about Christian trying to do whatever he can to get back to
2nd and 9.
Getting him going a little bit as St. Catholic would go hurry up here, Burrow. Once again, we've seen Jesuit go under center with Burrow and St. Catholic going exclusive from the shotgun as not surprised what they do. High snap, Burrow fakes the handoff, rolling left. As Schroeder will set his feet, looking for Shorter, caught by Shorter at the 38-yard line. What a throw by Burrow, what a catch by Shorter.
Down to 40, and that's for a CC Catholic.
Oh, I mean, it was a phenomenal throw. They're hitting Shorter to the sideline, but even better catch there, getting his feet in bounds.
Yeah, St. Catholic, once again, will go quick. You got to have depth on defense to compete with the St. Catholic team with how fast they go. Snap to Burrow, hands it off to Larry Christian. Larry Christian with some running left, and he'll scurry ahead for a gain of 12 yards. His longest gain of the it will be the gain of the hold.
Flag on the play.
You know, other than the hold, something I like to talk about with Larry Christian is just how dynamic he is. I mean, we go from 2 plays before that where he's breaking off defenders before the line of scrimmage, and then we go to that play. Obviously, it was a hold, but if we look at Larry Christian there, he's beating the defenders on the edge and taking the sideline. He has both Sonic and
holding against the Barons.
Yeah, the thankless job of a running back. You got to run through defensive tackles. You have to be able to run away from the secondary players. And Jesuit has phenomenal depth and skill in that secondary, and obviously with their front 7 as well, led by Caden Henderson, who I think heard us up in the booth and had a very impactful second quarter. Here's Burrow. Hands it to Christian. Christian running right and just nowhere to go. That's an awesome about 5. Trip Keller, a safety that Jesuit was very high on starter last year for Jesuit, making a big time tackle.
Lost to the Barons, going to bring up 2nd and 15.
Keller was both 3rd in tackles and 3rd in picks for Jesuit last year. As St. Catholic will face a 2nd and 16 here on the opening drive of the second half. Claps his hands, fakes it to Christian. Rolling left, has Pritchett, but overthrew him just a little bit. That's a tough throw to make, and I think we get spoiled with a little bit with how often Chase makes those throws.
3rd and 15.
but just out throws, pitch it there, and it'll be third and long for the Barons.
You can't be mad because it's not like every single rollout pass that Burrow's throwing. It's not going out of bounds every play. I mean, 2 plays ago, he just completed a beautiful pass to shorter. So, you just got to live with it, and you got to keep moving on with the drive as we come up here on the third down.
Third and very long for this Barons offense. 2 receivers to the left of Burrow has Larry Christian on the right. It'll be a screen pass to Christian, and it's sniffed out by who else? It is Caden Henderson, the all-world linebacker.
Caden Henderson sniffed that one out. Bring up a fourth down for the Barons.
He heard us up here in the booth talking.
Yeah, I mean, that's when you think of what a 5-star linebacker does, it's exactly like that. He beat about 3 different blockers to get to Christian there and negate that game for the Barons. And for the second time today, we'll see a punt for St. Pete Catholic. And one of the things you see for the second time today, one of the things you see, if you see on the camera, you see all 3
Marcelo Morales to
for St. Pete Catholic. That's what they call the blockers for the punter. That's not by accident, it's by design. They want to give Marcel Morales as much protection as he
deep to receive for the Tigers.
Morales back to punt, gets it off with that left foot, hoping for this one to get a roll, and it'll roll on to exactly at the 50-yard line. So Jesuit will start their first possession of the second half in great field position as they lead St. Pete Catholic by 7 with 9:35 to go
just shy
in the second half. Henry, what have you seen from
Jesuit offense
so far?
It's been here and there. I mean, they've done a good job at creating big plays, and then the one touchdown, it was a long run by Davis, and that was a phenomenal run, but also great blocking downfield, which they've done all game. But SPC's done a great job containing them, and with 14 points from this offense through a half, that's all you could ask for.
Here's Davis running left, chased by Chop, but he will stretch it out left and ran a long way to get about 5 yards. Great pursuit there by the Baron defense, led by number 9, Kendrick Handy, who we've said his name a ton so far.
Kendrick Handy was one of them. By Antonio Williams.
I think they're saying they stepped out the line of scrimmage. Henry, look, I don't know if they're just moving the line. It'll be 76 for Jesuit. Davis is to the right of Griffin. Griffin claps his hands. Low taps, balls on the ground again, recovered by Davis, and he'll just fall on it. And we've seen really snapping issues on both sides of the offense, but St. Pete Catholic has been able to recover there better. That's a loss of 11 for Jesuit. It'll be 2nd and 17.
10, going to pick up a 3rd and 15 for the Tigers. Here's for that Baron defense.
If Jesuit's not able to convert here, that's just a phenomenal job there by the defense of SPC.
I'll tell you what, this defense has been put in a lot of tough spots today. And if you're the coach, Jess, and the entire defense staff, you have to love how they respond. Here comes Griffin throwing right, has a man, and almost intercepted. What a hit by guess who? Kendrick Handy once again. That ball was intended for Will Tegletti.
Killing Huff on the cover.
Oh my goodness, who else? But
that's gonna be 4th down for the Tigers.
All over the field today, and that's someone that Coach Jesse highlighted to us earlier this year. And once again, this Baron defense has been as advertised so far this season.
King Handy back to receive for the Barons.
Beavers lines up the punt.
Tigers in punt formation.
As it will be it will be Kendrick Handy, who they call JJ, by the way. Kendrick Handy is who they call JJ. King Handy, his brother, will be back to return the punt. Beavers boots it away. St. Catholic showed some pressure, a spiral punt, bounces, and will continue to roll. Great roll there. Picked up by Handy at the 15. Handy runs left and gets about 3 yards. And St. Catholic will start their second drive of the second half of their 18-yard line with 8:42
Bears going to take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Johnny, don't even get me started on learning the Handy's names. I mean, you could back me up on this one. That was tough.
So, yeah, we were told that there was a JJ in the secondary. And I'm not going to name names on the football team that they didn't know their government first name of their teammates. But I originally learned that unintentionally didn't tell Henry for the podcast that Caden, I learned from Nate Temple that that Kendrick did go by JJ.
So I guess that's what they knew.
I just give them a hard time. Second possession of the second half for St. Pete Catholic will start there at 18. Quick pass out to the lane, and that was dropped by Braylon Lane. And 2nd and 10 for St. Pete Catholic. they've been trying those screen passes.
Now the hands of the
just
intended
speed
receiver
of the
brings up
Jesuit
a second and
linebackers and their
10.
nickel players has really not been able to gain much from them.
I think that's extremely similar to what happened last year. They were able to succeed at those screen passes throughout the regular season, and then as they kept going further and further in the playoffs, it just didn't work. They faced faster and better defenses.
But I do like the screen pass call because we've seen Jesuit's defense line be able to penetrate so aggressively. And eventually, like we saw with Jesuit, the same captain may be able to hit on one of those for a big gain. Here's Burrow, takes snap, fakes to Christian. Looking left, throwing left deep for Shorter. Shorter has a step on him. Burrow, and he catches it at the 37-yard line. Shorter once again, a big-time play. He beat Cam Housey down the field. And Shorter, for the second time today, making a big-time play down the field.
Barons put up top first and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Oh, and Housey's down.
Housey is down again. He's holding his feet. You hope this is nothing serious.
The official timeout for player ending.
I hope it's just a knee-to-knee, which you might get when they rolled up on each other there. But Housey, again, returned a starter last year in that secondary.
You know, you're forever gonna hate to see an injury, but it's even more brutal seeing an injury in preseason football.
Yeah.
You know, you wait all offseason to get back on the field, to get back to Friday Night Lights, and for a preseason game.
Jesuit trainers and his coach on the field with him. You see his flat on his back. But I will say it was quite the throw by Burrow, who, again, Henry, I don't know if you saw this, he started to roll left and then kind of gave a little shoulder fake and then was able to hit Shorter in stride as we still have Housey down on the field.
Yeah, you know, it was a bit of an underthrow by Burrow, but, you know, it was a great job by Shorter being able to just, you know, adjust to that ball and get to where he needed to be to make the play.
Good to see Cam Housey on his feet.
That's Housey would be on his feet.
Had
Again,
a nice game so far.
You hope it's just knee to knee. And I've been playing basketball, Henry, from you as well, and nothing more painful than a knee to knee. And the way that they rolled up on is the reason why I say that. But, you know, he needs help by both trainers to walk off the field.
Yeah, I mean, I did used to have Osgood Schlatter in school, so.
Okay, let's see how that's related. But, but as the P announcer said, Housey has a heck of a game, has an interception tonight, and that great play. He was in that cover 2 kind of action there in that middle zone. As it will be Parker McBecca who will replace him at this near side corner. Becca is 5'11" senior. St. Cathy huddled right on the official. We have all the receivers not in the huddle. St. Cathy will do this a few times, and they'll send Jake Hogan the first to the ball, as you see them doing that again.
Jake is so prepared. I mean, look at him. He is one of our
he's looking back, seeing where the rest of his team is. As now that is intentional by St. Cathy. Burrow fakes it to Christian. Right has Rosado, and Rosado, you just saw that play happening. Just did not get his head up in time. Got hammered as he did catch it once again. That was Cole Olsen laying wood right there on Rosado, and will be a second and long.
You know, I think it's kind of starting to pick up this offense. You know, it's a lot of rollout plays. Little short dump off passes to the tight end, a lot of screen passes.
And it's a happy medium. We talked about you don't want to put too much on film for the regular season opponents to see, but you know, you do want to have enough to you know, be able to compete. And we've seen the long ball working. Again, shout out to this offense line. We're talking about 4 new starters. Outside the end of the drive of the first half, they've really been able to protect Burrow. Burrow, a little RPO action off the hands of Shorter.
That's a great point there, Johnny, about the film. You know, that's actually something I think we think about.
Pass the center for Shorter, calls incomplete. Here behind. 3rd and 10 for the Barons.
A little bit behind Shorter, but as they say, a lot of receivers say, if it hits my hand, should have caught it. I like that little wrinkle we were talking about. That was an RPO, run pass option for those of you at home. Burrow had the option to hand it to Christian or pull it and throw it. He chose to pull it and throw it, but that would lead to a 3rd and long. And Henry, I think this is 4 down territory here, kind of in no man's land. We'll see. Maybe we have a run here to set up the 4th down. As Jesuit only has 3 down linemen.
I agree, because the defense has been so good at stopping them before the 50-yard line.
And it will be a run to Christian. Christian bursts up the left side, and he'll fall just short of the 1st down. Let's see where they mark him.
He puts the mark.
And it will be a 1st down. I think Coach Jesse saw what we saw up here with only the 3 down linemen.
3
down linemen once again as they will come up and run it again. Christian jukes left, falls forward for about 4 yards. I'll tell you what, tough running by Larry Christian. He's really been impressive tonight.
That was a patient run there too. Like I said
Another quick
earlier, he's
hitter
a
by
patient
Fisher for
running back.
another
It's a
pick up
great
for
quality
3.
for a running back, kind of like Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, good comp. As it will be 2nd and about 7 for the Barons here. And there will be, I think, the timeout for Jesuit. As no, the chain gang, I don't think was ready. As like we said on the first drive, the only thing that will stop the tempo of this Catholic offense is the chain gang.
It is literally not the first time that we have had to bring them up. And I feel like we shouldn't even have to. I feel like they should do their job.
Second and I believe, or 2nd and 7 for the Barons. Burrow fakes it to Christian, looking left, has Pritchett across the middle, leaping up, spins out of the ball. What a catch by Pritchett. It'll be first and goal for the Barons.
He has been so electric this game. All he does is make big plays. He shows up immediately when it matters. And him and Burrow's connection has been nothing but special tonight.
St. Catholic once again will go fast. They will hand it to Christian, but there is a whistle and a flag. Offsides on Jesuit, so this will be half the distance goal.
I mean, that's exactly what you need there from Jesuit, is to make that play for the Barons, close to the goal line. And then, like we said, he's patient. He's going to find the gap and being close to the end zone. I don't know why he can't just run it in himself. A lot of times last year, we actually saw, like, in this territory, Larry Christian taking a Wildcat, and he's doing that.
And he is short. Great foresight there by you, Henry. You know, you mentioned the Wildcat. They did have a lot of success with that earlier this game, as Jesuit is scrambling to get new players on the field. As we see Nolan Dooley run back onto the field. As, let's see, we got 2 defensive linemen on the right side. They'll hand it to Christian. Christian powers through, falls forward, no signal yet.
Flag on the play.
He's in. Touchdown, Barons.
Touchdowns on the field.
There is a flag. And it's against the defense, so she'll be a touchdown for the Barons. That is tough money by Larry Christian.
In this game, will be 1 point before the conversion.
Face mask against the defense. That penalty's declined. Put this on the board for the Barons.
Yeah. Larry Christian. What a big time drive from Chase Burrow and the Barons.
Barons fans just took well for that offensive line.
He knew he needed to get in that end zone, and that's exactly what he did.
McAnally for the point after.
Low snap. McNally's kick is blocked.
Once again.
Not a lot went right there. Low snap skidded across the ground, and McNally couldn't get it up, and it will remain.
47 remaining in the third quarter.
Second block.
14.
Second kick attack. So this will be a 1-point game with 6:47 left in the quarter. Barons look to capitalize offensively after a great drive. Defense looks to give them the ball back.
This next position is crucial. Right after St. Catholic scored in the first half to tie the game, it was immediately dictated right away by a Jesuit long touchdown run. So it'll be crucial to see what the Barons do here defensively to stop them. But Dominic McNally will be ready to kick the ball off. Barons do trail by 1, but this game has been as advertised, Henry. A competitive game by 2 very good teams.
Yeah, for sure.
Both teams missing some players. I will say Alex Bell and not playing for the Barons. Very electric freshman last year. You see Larry Christian hasn't came off the field. It's because his backup isn't healthy. as this ball by McNally will skid into the end zone. Look at Dominic McNally.
Judge will take
Another thing
over
about
first
Alex
and
Bell
20.
is, he was he was an RB3 last year. We had Demarion Rowe and Larry Kirsten there. Demarion Rowe graduated. He's
Official
in
timeout
college
for
football
water.
now. But Alex Bell, like I said, he was a RB3. He was a freshman, and his numbers were still impressive, Johnny. I mean, he had 570 yards, 45 carries, and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
For a freshman 3, not getting any plays, it's impressive.
I agree. We will have a break with this water break. We'll take a break right along with them. We'll be right back right after this water. We are back from this water because Jesuit will have the ball at the 20-yard line. Griffin's left throws left. Good coverage there by Jermisio Robinson as Griffin tried to put some zip on that
Aaron
ball.
Robinson on coverage for Barons. Pass ball is incomplete.
Neely O'Brien, freshman who had the long reception.
Timeout for your player on the
Right now
field.
we do have some cramping in the field. Can't make out a number for Jesuit. One of their offensive linemen appears to be cramping. It's getting stretched out by the trainer now as we have another break here. Mateo Guzman is who's down on the field.
Okay, here's something we try to do, something a little different every year. So join us after the game at the official bar and grill of SPC, Dead Bob's on Central Avenue. Mention Ross Blueball's president and get 10% added to your bill. Second and 10 for the Tigers.
Griffin hands it to Davis, and there is just nothing going once that's
Tigers try it inside.
all over Jesuit, and there is a mix of players
Before
there.
Taylor wasn't had
Robinson and Hubello
The
once again
4-yard
leading
loss,
the way.
giving up a 3rd and 14 for the Tigers.
This is a big third down for Barons defense here. Like I talked about, their main
Time
goal
for
right
that
now should be
Barons
getting the ball back
defense.
for their offense, which just came off of so much momentum. Such a good drive.
The line Jesuit has not been very successful here. They've only let Griffin really throw the field once, and it was for a completion. Everything's been quick. Let's see what they do here. 3rd and 14, another low slap, fake handoff. Looks like a hold there. Nothing caught, almost intercepted by Tylen Huff, one of the 2 returning starters last year. And Jesuit will have to punt once again.
Tylen Huff also leading the team in interceptions with 4 last year. Absolute
Another
defensive
nice
menace.
stop for the Barons defense.
He is definitely a game changer for Barons. And with them punting so far back,
Brandon Lane,
I could only help
Back to
but
receive
feel
for the
that the
Barons.
Barons are going to get good field position here with Braylon Lane back there.
Yeah, Braylon Lane, another guy that this team is high on. And we've got to see him really get out in space. Let's see if Beavers, what his punt can do here in terms of getting Lane out in space. Low snap once again. St. Catholic really brought the heat there. Bounces right at the 48-yard line. Bounces back. Lane will let it bounce. Smartly doesn't want to pick that up as we see Trip Keller, the do-it-all safety
touchdown at the
for
Barons 30-yard
Jesuit
line.
that will spot the ball, and it will be right around the St.
Touchdown
Catholic
Badella on the hustle
32-yard
play.
line. That St.
Barons
Catholic
take
will
over
look
1st
to
and
take
10
their
at
first
their own
lead
30-yard line.
of the second or of the game.
I think Lane just kind of got a little bit of a misjudgment there on that ball.
Yeah, he caught one off the bounce earlier, but they're taught that if it rolls a few times, not a lot of good can happen if you try and get that ball.
Yeah, that defense is already down there. By that time, you're just going to probably get popped, like Matt O'Shea did earlier in the game.
Drew a penalty, though. St. Pete Catholic, first drive going for the lead. Hands it off to Christian, running right.
Hand off to Christian.
Christian stumbles ahead, gain of
Taking
about
off the right hand
5.
side, tripped
As I'll
up.
tell you what, we talked about it. Larry Christian is beginning to wear
Nice
this
gain of
defense
4.
down. Those gains that were 1, 2, 3 are now becoming 5, 6, and 7 yards for Larry Christian. 2nd and 6 for the Barons. Run it again right to Christian. Christian once again stumbles ahead for a gain of 4.
Christian hitting hard again. Pick up a few more. Going to bring up a 3rd and 2.
Something good about this Barons offense is they really do mix up the run and the pass, which is definitely crucial. And you can tell that definitely last drive, and a little bit this drive, it's probably going to throw the defense off guard a little bit.
3rd and long 2 for St. Pete Catholic. As Barry over Coach Jesse, Larry goes to the right of Burrow. Burrow takes a snap, hands it to Christian. Christian is tackled
Christian
just short. Let's see where
scrimmage.
this spot is. The far line judge gave him the first down.
And Henderson on the stop for the Tigers. Going to bring up a 4th and long 2 for the Barons.
Play of the day. See.
It looks like the Barons are going to stay on the field for this.
Yeah, I'll
fourth
tell you
down.
what, this is 4th and extremely short if you're looking at where it is here. I think here comes the Wildcat once again. Give it to Christian. Runs for it. Oh, he is short. And I'll tell you what, it was Macho Mendez once again meeting him right away. And what a stand by this Jesuit
Mendez
defense.
turnover on downs. Jesuit will take
This is
over
about all the defense here,
in
Johnny.
St. Pete Catholic territory.
This is about all the defenses. There's
Not all the
two.
defense.
Huh?
What'd you say?
I said this is 2 really good defenses.
It is
here.
really 2 really good defenses. I'll tell you what, Macho Mendez, who a guy that's taken a bigger role this year, that was a monster stop. And Larry Christian required him to take 3, 4 people to get him down. But my goodness, what a turning point in this game. Jesuit will take over at the St. Pete Catholic 38-yard line.
Barons take over 1st and 10. Barons 39.
Griffin from the pistol hands it to Davis. Davis running right. Again, nothing there. I tell you what, this St. Catholic defensive front has been dominant in this game today.
He
As once
literally
again,
had
a plethora of players up there.
Miracle Robinson
I
on the
also
stop
saw
of the Barons.
Tory
Just
Williams
on the carry
as
for the
well.
Tigers, loss of 1. Bring up 2nd and 11.
Browns getting a little chirpy after the play there.
Yeah, he's played well tonight as well. That's 17 on the near side of your screen. Three receivers to Griffin's left. Ball's on the near side hash. Davis going in motion as it will not count. It'll be a little motion. Ball going far to Davis. I'll tell you what, when we do this
Catching it on the
really nice
hands.
tie ball by
Intended for
Griffin, but this will be a
Hill.
legal motion.
Flag on the play.
Jesuit. This will lose them another 5 yards.
That's their second call for this game.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit too much pre-snap motion.
Well, if I have the rule correct, I don't
Legal
think you
motion
can have
against the
2
Tigers.
players going in motion at the same time.
You cannot.
Or if you do, you can, because you see sometimes all 3 go into motion, but there's a certain rule on
Penalty
that.
is declined.
Yeah,
That brings a 3rd down
And I tell you what, St. Pete Catholic will decline the
and
penalty
11 for the
because it'll
Tigers.
be 11. And once again, can this
Time to
defense
cheer for that
make a
Barons
stand?
defense.
You know, if you're asking me that question, I think you know my answer. I believe they can. And they've
do
been
too.
lights out all day.
Let's see if Jesuit trusts the young freshman quarterback Griffin here. I tell you what, he's been impressive when throwing the ball down the field.
When they give him the opportunity.
Let's see if they do that here. Griffin looking back to throw, and it will be down the field going for a deep shot, just out of bounds. Tight coverage once again by Donaldson this time. And it will be,
Sideline.
I'll tell you what,
Flag
there's some
after the play.
extracurricular after the play, and I think this is going to go against Donaldson. This is not going to be good. It is going to be on Donaldson. I'll tell you what, this is going to have Coach Jesse and the coaching staff fired up.
You know, because there's been a few of those today. There's not the same penalty, but there's been a few, dumb penalties. That just completely shifted the momentum there.
That can't happen.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Barons.
That's massive. And I'll tell you what, I don't think it was much, but he did it right in front of the official. That's one where you get the football back for your offense. And
Merry Christmas to the
that is a
Tigers. That's
tough
an automatic first down.
I didn't see it actually, so I guess that's unfortunate for me.
again, it might not be something that maybe something he said that we can't see up here, but nevertheless, it was right in front of the official. This is a 15-yard penalty. Jesuit was going to get the ball at the Baron 25-yard line now. For a team that has not been able to move the ball at all in the second half, this is a massive turning point in this game. Griffin takes a snap, hands it off, going up the middle, and not a whole lot doing this time for Trey Smith.
Once again, that Baron defensive line is not having it.
It was Caden that really made the stop there. And I want to talk a little bit about Caden Griffin. So he's a sophomore right now, but as a freshman, he wasn't a starter.
No game.
But he did get some minutes.
Second and 10.
Or some play time, I mean. And you know, for him to step up and be trusted by this coaching staff to be a starter as a sophomore is very impressive. I could say that, you know, the same thing for Elijah Schroeder.
Yeah, this is someone that Coach Jesse highlighted to us. We met with him earlier this week of someone that, you know, he really thinks is going to take a step. Empty backfield for Griffin. Griffin running right up the gut. And I'll tell you what, fighting forward, he's going to fall just short of the first down.
Davis on a direct snap.
That'll be his first time really, you know, taking
himself
off
ahead for a gain of.
So Griffin started running before he got the ball. And
sort of like Chase last year. You know, he didn't run much, but when he did, I think his first 2 rush attempts were actually touchdowns.
Yeah, later in the season.
33 for the Tigers.
3 for Jesuit. Yeah, I think Davis getting the ball here. Motion. Here comes Davis running left and nothing going. What a stop by David Afanu. What a flying in there. The Canadian making his big first smash play there. And that'll be a loss of about 4. What a stop once again by this Baron defense.
You know,
David Afanu,
number 44.
Lost play.
Who wore that last year? Colton Shaw. Colton Shaw, also Canadian.
For the Tigers.
Big shoes to fill. And let's see what Jesuit does here. I think they're going to go for this, Henry. They bring on Avion Clarkson, sophomore wide receiver. They also bring on Caden Hegedal, 6'5" sophomore. He'll line up on the far side of the field, and this will be a timeout from Jesuit. They want to talk this over before they go for 1:25 left in the third quarter. We'll be right back after this timeout.
All right, here we go. 4th down. Indications are the Tigers are going to attempt the field goal.
Oh, Jesuit is going to go for the field goal here.
Beavers
Field goal. Will be Beavers here. Let's see. This ball is at the 25-yard line. About a 38-yard field goal, maybe a little bit more. Snap is good. Kick it up.
Is up.
And it's right down the middle.
And
strong leg by Beavers. 17-13.
39. With 120 remaining in the third quarter.
If Jesuit decided to go that field goal there and actually did line up and go for it on 4th down, you know, why not?
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure they're dependent on their defense right now. You know, they've been able to shut down the Barons for primarily all the game. But why not? I mean, if you really trust your freshman quarterback there, go for it.
Yeah, but and I'll play devil's advocate here. Not that I disagree with Henry. I actually do agree with you. But, you know, getting a 4-point lead for this defense, like they were saying, you know, not that St. B. Catholics had great success in their field goal kicking game, but now you have to score a touchdown to take the lead,
which SPC hasn't been, you know, very great at today.
See a whole lot of game left. Still a whole quarter left after this slow third quarter.
So many game.
Jesuit will kick the ball off. I tell you what, I think we've seen more touchbacks in this game than we saw all last season. Yeah, 2 good kickers on both sides.
The handy and Braylon Lane back is deep to receive for the Barons.
as the kick from Beaver sells well in the goal line. My
And
goodness.
that's going to be good for a
Strong. I'd say
touchback.
that is a
Bears will take
strong
over
leg
first
there
and
by the
10 at
senior
their
kicker.
20-yard line.
Cindy Catholic will take possession here with a little under 90 seconds left in the third quarter. Throw from the far hash. Christian to his left. High snap. Fakes the Christian, throws to Rosado. Not a good throw there by Chase, but that was thrown off a little bit there at the start. That's Chase. I don't think ever really got a good grip on the ball.
Rosado, incomplete.
It
Brings
also
up
could have
a
been a
second
little
and
bit of
10.
miscommunication. Maybe you didn't expect Rise to be
Sit
where
there
it
in the
was.
zone, come a little bit closer. Yeah. Regardless, it'll be second and 10, a minute 17 left in this game. Barrel from the gun. Takes a snap. This time does hand it to Christian. Has a little gap up the middle, slashes forward for a gain of about 3 or 4. It'll be third and long for the Barons.
You know, for Larry, it has been an underwhelming game a little bit. You know, he's been good, but compared to last season and expectations, he has been a bit underwhelming.
Well, it's not easy running against this Jesuit front.
Especially to my point, what I was going to say is this is a new O-line. You know, he's just getting used to things.
36 here for St. Catholic. Bro fakes the handoff, looking left, looking for Pritchett, and another interception once again. This time, for the second time, it is Housey. And
Pass intercepted.
that's the second time. His first interception
Tigers take over
was
possession on
the
their side of the
exact same as
field.
the second one.
They bring up a first
Chase
and
was,
10.
they're in the zone. He's looking
The
right at
Tigers
him.
at their own
He fell back and
47-yard
just
line.
picked that ball off. Another great play by Housey. Good to see he's okay after that scary looking injury at the beginning.
I mean, another thing to kind of comment on that with is Chase has thrown the same amount of interceptions in this one game that he threw all season last year. You know, unfortunate day for him, but again, we can't express enough that this is a preseason game. If he's going to get the Kings out now, get him out now.
38 seconds to go in this third quarter. Fourth turnover of the game for the Barons. And Henry, if you told me that, and you told Coach Jesse, 4 turnovers against Jesuit, and you're only down 4, I think that you'd think you see on a pretty okay spot.
Says something about the defense.
Exactly. Griffin from the St. Pete Catholic 46-yard line. Takes a snap, hands it to Davis. Davis runs right into Robinson, and once again, we see making the second splash play, David Afanu. As that ball is loose, but they marked him down before. But David Afanu, number 44, making his second consecutive splash play, and it'll be second and long for
loss on the play
for Jesuit. And I think that they might just let this roll until the fourth quarter.
You know, it's definitely an understatement to say that
12.
The defense has been doing their part today. They've been so good.
As the scoreboard is out, but there was only about 17 seconds before that. So as this will end the third quarter. Because they do keep time on the field as well. At the end of 3, Jesuit leads St. Pete Catholic 17-13. We'll be back right after this for the fourth quarter. as we start this fourth quarter. Jesuit leads St. Pete Catholic 17-13. I will say I do want to give a big shout out to the people up here helping us in the booth. This stream would not be possible without Jameson Shields on the computer here. Michael as well on the camera, providing you with those great shots all night. Play action from Griffin, and he's immediately met. Oh, shakes off a tackler, throwing it deep. Oh, almost an Odell type catch from David Hill. But my goodness, what a play by Griffin. He drew a penalty on
in the Jesuit backfield. We'll see what we got.
I believe that was Solito. I thought he came in there like a man possessed, but Griffin, the freshman, showing some grown man strength, throwing him off, and I think we're going to have a face mask. I'll tell you what, Henry, if this is a face mask, I would bet that Jesuit has more yards via penalty than on actual offense in this third quarter.
I would
Face mask
I
call
would have
against
to
the
back you up
Barons.
on that one.
And it is a face mask.
Decline. Personal foul.
So
Roughing the passer against the
that
Barons.
is the second 15-yard penalty.
That won't be accepted for 15-3-1.
The second half. So
You move the ball
St.
to
Pete
Barons
Catholic, again, that
territory
one
for
is a
the
little bit more
Tigers.
forgivable. He's going to play. I think
First
that's more
and
just
10 at the
outstanding play by
Barons,
Griffin.
38.
It's again that we talk about these dumb penalties from the Barons. Face mask is a little bit more acceptable, but things like unsportsmanlike conduct just can't happen.
Ball on St. Pete Catholic's 38. Again, just 12-minute quarters if you're watching the stream for the first time. High school just does have 12-minute quarters. So 11:52 left in this last quarter. Griffin from the gun. Low snap again. Takes it, looking left, throwing left, looking for Teglo, and is incomplete. Good coverage once again by Jameer Donaldson. And it will be second and
Pass
long
ball's
for
incomplete.
Jesuit.
Kalen Huff and Jamari Donaldson on the coverage for the Barons. Brings up a 2nd and 10.
Second and 10 for Jesuit from the St. Pete Catholic 40.
All right, fans, I've warned you. Concession stand is running out. Last call.
As
Next option is going to be Dead Bob's afterwards.
second and long for Jesuit. Davis flanks Griffin on the left. Now in motion going left. Creepy sneak for Griffin. Runs right into Robinson. Breaks the tackle. Breaks free. Gain of 10 for Griffin. Nice design QB run there. As
Griffin's on the
Jesuit
keeper.
picks up their first down of the
Ducks and
fourth
dives.
quarter. And it will be 1st and 10 from the Jesuit 30.
They
And
bring
that's
up
the
a
second time that
3rd
Griffin
and
used
less
his
than a
Count
yard.
30. Yeah.
It's the second time that Griffin used his feet. Both pretty productive plays.
Yeah. Oh, they marked him short, Henry. Look at that. 3rd and 1.
It's a big third down here.
Here we go.
But is this 4th down territory for Jesuit?
I
would
think so. Yeah, it depends. Unless we have a bad snap like we had at the beginning, I would guess. Jesuit huddles for really the first time either team has had the full team huddle all game. As a lot of the big personnel in there. Only one receiver out. Everyone else in the backfield. Now they motion. Griffin still in the gun. Direct snap to Davis. Davis running left, and he'll pick up the first down. Strong run by Davis. Picks
Nothing
up
but
3
pushing the
to
shove.
pick up the first down.
Orion Solito was not able to bring him down in the backfield, but still did apply a little bit of pressure.
Good enough to move the stick.
Solito has looked good tonight, I think, Henry. He did
I
have that
agree.
face
It's going to
mask
be a
there,
first
but
down for the
he's
Tigers.
been impressive.
You know, Johnny, it's not like
This
he's
is deeper
making
into Baron
these like
territory.
standout plays, but he's being a solid role player. You know, he's just doing what needs to be done for him to do. You know, he's solid.
1st and 10 on the 34-yard line.
First and 10 for Jesuit. Davis comes out of the game. Bakari Pierce will give him a breather. He flanks Griffin to his left, and he'll get the ball running left. And once again, who else? As we see for the third straight time, Afanu making a splash play. Gain of 2. All right, excuse me, no gain for Jesuit.
Bakari Pierce on the carry.
No, it is a gain of 2 for Jesuit. 2nd and 8.
Afano on the stop. 2nd and 8 for the
Henry's
Tigers.
been really impressive. He's been playing that linebacker position. You know, some big shoes to fill. Once again, we talked about St. Pete Catholic only returning 2 starters on defense. As there's a whistle and timeout, St. Pete Catholic.
Timeout. Barons.
17-13 Jesuit, 9:49 remaining. And I tell you what, this is the first time in a long time we've seen a low-scoring game.
Especially, yeah, for the Barons, definitely.
No, I'm just talking about this field in general.
Oh, yeah. Unless you're talking about the Cannon Vetter era, but But if the Barons get a stop here defensively, that would be probably the most ideal thing to happen here.
If you hold them to 3, it remains a touchdown game.
And if you hold them to 0, you score a touchdown, you got the lead by 3.
We'll see what happens here as Jesuit, as Davis, once again, leading rusher from a year ago, almost 1,400 yards, back onto the field. Got the talented freshman Bryant to the left of Griffin and Davis. Griffin takes a snap, looking right, a dangerous throw and a great play by King Handy, the brother of Kendrick Handy, known as JJ.
He surely
King Handy on the coverage.
on the
It's
defensive side.
3rd and 8 for the St. Pete Catholic defense.
But Handy, who's been dealing with, I don't know if it's cramping, I don't know what it is, but has gutted it out. Another Baron defender. I mean, you can say about the whole defense. That's looked strong tonight.
Something that was really crucial for the Barons last year was applying so much pressure to the quarterback, the opposing quarterback, and I think they've done a pretty good job at applying pressure.
3rd and 8, another low snap. All out bits. Griffin throws. Oh, what a play again by Handy. Knocks it away from David Hill. And again, they're going to send out the field goal team. And once again, this Baron defense standing on their head holds this Jesuit offense to 3.
Do I need to say it again?
King Handy is so handy. Baron defense is
I'll
give
tell
it
you what,
up.
sure is handy to have 2 Handy brothers on the team and in the secondary. And it will be a field goal once again for Ben Beavers. Beavers 1 for 1 on field goals tonight. Let's see. He's kicking it from the 21-yard line. Henry, I believe at normal wisdom you add 13 from the yard line. So this is around a 34, 35-yard field goal, depending on the spot.
Placeholder's really trying to get that snap off there.
Beavers, snap is good. Kick is up, and it is right down the middle once again. I tell you what, that would have been good from 50.
And it's
Beavers
good.
have been impressive tonight. 20-13, Jesuit leads. 9:34 remaining in this fourth quarter.
Jesuit Tigers 24, St. Pete Catholic 13.
You know, this is where some people think this game's kind of slipping away, but you look at it, it's still a 7-point game. It is a lot better than it seems. All the Barons really need to do is put together another one of those drives where it ended with that Larry Christian touchdown in the Wildcat formation. They need to put it together in another one of those. And, you know, this is a tie ball game.
Yeah.
We'll probably be late in the fourth quarter.
If you'd have told this whole staff that they would have had 4 turnovers and trailed by less than a touchdown with the ball, I think they all would take it.
I mean, yeah, you've said that so many times, but, you know, for good reason. I mean, that is just such a insane part about this game. It's just the turnovers.
Beavers getting ready to kick off once again. 9:34 left. It is
Lane and Shorter back to
the
Barons.
For the Barons.
That's typically how they do it.
Beavers boots it away. This one will not be returnable. Lands, I tell you what, that hit right at the goal.
Once another
Barons
touchdown.
will take over 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line with 9:34 remaining.
Big time drive here upcoming from the Barons. Give the offense, give this defense some support. And I'll tell you what, if I'm Coach Jesse, that's a good problem to have, considering how explosive this offense here. I have no doubt that this offense will figure it out this year. But seeing the defense perform this well, not the defense was bad last year by any means, has to be encouraging going forward.
I think, like, you know, what you're trying to say there, right? The defense isn't bad by any means. It was just last year they weren't faced with a problem like this. Like, this defense is being faced with a problem for the first time. Besides those, you know, those 2 starters, but really for the first time.
Throws out to shorter screen pass, and I tell you what, that is a big time tackle. And who else on this defense by Cam Housley? 2 interceptions. That's his 2nd tackle for loss. He has been all over the field for the Tigers. St. Catholic still will go quick. 2nd and 12.
Off 2 on the play.
I think
2nd and 12 for
the
the Barons.
Barons need to resort back to that deep ball pass. That was working very well. But definitely throw the defense off sides like they have been.
Yeah, play action, quick throw to Rosado. Rosado catch right of space mask. He'll get back a yard in front of the original line.
Right,
So
Rosado on the
it'll be
reception.
3rd and 9.
Giving up a 2nd and 8. Excuse me, 3rd down and 8 for the Barons.
Big 3rd down here. It'll be a quick 3 now. Haven't had the ball for a minute left yet. 2 receivers to his right, tied in another receiver to Burrell's left. Chase Burrell. Such a fantastic season last year. Has made some big time throws here tonight as well. Gets the snap, fakes it to Christian. Burrell looking deep, throwing, looking. Oh, tight covers there. Looking for lane. And once again, it was Jamie Bernard Jr. in the coverage. And I'll tell you what, this Jesuit defense, there's not a lot of areas for Burrell to throw the ball into.
Yeah, and I think that was, kind of the problem with the 4 interceptions besides the one. That was, kind of his fault. But the other 3, I mean, he tried to throw it into tight coverage, which the zone from Jesuit is just absolutely containing.
Yeah, I mean, this Jesuit defense, we knew it would be strong. The coaching staff knew it was strong at the start. And once again, St. Catholic will have to punt. 8:27 left in this game. And we'll be back on the defense. Let's see. Jesuit spent a whole lot of time on St. Catholic's side of the 50. Let's see if this punt can get a good roll and knock him back a little
10 yards. Deep to receive for the Tigers.
3rd punt of the day for Morales.
Here's the boot. This one a little bit higher, and it will get a good bounce. It will go out right at the 49-yard line, right near the 50.
Bounce inside Tiger territory where they'll take over.
8:20 left here to go.
Let's see if this Baron defense can get one more stop. 8:20 remaining.
And just to
20
point
to
out,
13.
sort of.
Goes with the ball right at the 50-yard line. 1st and 10 Tigers.
Drives down here and scores a touchdown. That could be the nail of the coffin. I mean, with the Barons' lack of production here on offense.
And St. Catholic is out of field goals they can allow while remaining a 1-score game. Griffin, flanked by both Pierce and Trey Smith. They hand a fake, almost another face mask, but Griffin breaks away. Griffin with a stiff arm. What is cool. I'll tell you what, he is sandwiched. And,
Tristan Williams.
Yeah, Tristan Williams, the first one in there. And Griffin's going to be slow to get up. That was a vicious hit. That's why you never
player on the field.
I say this as I'm a Florida fan who's had some running quarterbacks that they don't love when their quarterback stiff arm like Griffin just did. And Griffin went for the stiff arm. Williams got under, and then he got sandwiched from behind. It just puts the throwing or that not throwing shoulder in a very comparable position. So obviously, like you said, Henry, in preseason, you hope it's nothing serious. As hopefully, he just got rolled up on. He'll be able to get back in this game.
Especially for a freshman who has a completely bright future ahead of him, starting for a very good Jesuit football team on varsity. You do not want to see that happen under any circumstance. And that you bring up Florida, Jack Griffin's brother,
yeah, Will Griffin is at Florida this year.
That's not a applause for Jack Griffin. He's had a nice ball game tonight.
Walk off the field again. It looked like an arm issue. Let's see if they're careful with him because again, it is just the preseason.
I'm not sure if I'm Jesuit's coaching staff here. I'm not too sure if I would put him back in the game again, considering it is just a preseason one. I don't want to risk anything with him.
I don't disagree.
And it looks like it is just that.
As we're waiting to see who the new quarterback is going to be. There was some drama with the
Legend
Jesuit
Kristen
quarterback
as
situation.
quarterback for the Tigers.
It looks like it's going to be Will Taleji.
We'll take over facing a
their
2nd and
backup
10.
after doing the job transferred out. He was competing with Griffin for the job. Transferred
Placing
out.
the field marker there inside Baron territory. Call it 2nd and 7.
That's a good deep ball. And this is going to be pass interference on the Barons. Now, I'll tell you what, for the new quarterback to come in right away and to throw a deep ball, pretty impressive.
Pass is incomplete.
as it will be on the defense. But this is not a spot foul like it is in the NFL. I believe
Pass
it's a
interference against the
15-yard penalty.
Barons.
I just want to point out,
Result of the play.
thank you so
penalty
much
is
to
a
everyone
first down.
watching our live stream right now. We appreciate it so much, and we hope for it to grow in the future. So
Yeah,
keep tuning in on these Friday nights.
Henry will be back on the mic next Friday as St. Pete Catholic takes on Gibbs. Not sure he'll be in the booth with. That'll be a
First
I don't
and
know if I'll be
10
in
at
the
the
booth. We're
Barons
hoping to have
32-yard line.
another student broadcaster. I
Just
do want
over
to shout
8
out a lot of our
minutes
student
remaining in the fourth
broadcasters who
quarter.
are football players as well. Jake Hogan be one of them. Nick Croft
Dominic
down there as
McNally,
well. Dominic McNally as
Dylan
well.
Palazola.
Yep, Dylan is
I
in
mean,
there
the
too.
list goes on and on. These
Yeah.
guys
Multi-
love the game.
Yep. As Griffin is back in the game, that's nice to see. And a big-time run there. This time it is Trey Smith. Trey Smith rumbling all the way to the end zone. He tiptoes in just short. He stepped out around the 2-yard line.
So
As
Trey
I'll
Smith
tell you
on
what,
the
this Bear
carry.
defense looks a little bit to be on the
Just
field
shy
a ton in this
But the
second
goal
half.
line is going to bring up a
Jesuit is
6th goal
rotating
for
those
the
three
Tigers.
back there.
you know what, Johnny? I mean, that was kind of expected for them to be playing as hard as they were all game, and then the offense not being able to back them up as much. You know, it was bound to happen.
And it's not even necessarily to backing them up, though that is true. It's them not even getting a first down. So that last drive that they had was less than a minute,
Yeah.
right? And I think it's more of a shout out to the Jesuit defense than it is to the Baron offense. But that puts a whole lot of stress on this Baron defense.
It's pretty much just the Barons defense going on and off the field so quick.
Here's Will Griffin under center. We do have Trey Smith dotting the I in the I formation. Smith running right, and he stumbles into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. And Jesuit gets that
With a little
elusive
bit
two-score
of
lead.
pushback. The Tigers get it across the goal line. Touchdown, Tigers.
Again, I say this game is far from over. 7:45. We've seen crazier things happen. Maybe, this next possession for the offense open up a little bit. But, all in all, still have to be very encouraged what we're seeing from the defense today.
Here's to attempt
And when
the
you say
extra
seeing
point.
crazier things happen, we really have.
We have.
I mean, last year in the
That regional
playoffs,
semifinal game, yep.
unbelievable game there.
Beavers will attempt the extra points. That is to Letty with the hold. The hold is snap is perfect. Hold is good, and the
It's
kick's
good.
even better.
7:45 remaining in the
27-13.
fourth
Jesuit
quarter.
leads with
Jesuit
7:45 remaining.
27, St. Pete Catholic 13.
As the Barons, start to slip away.
This is a big drive. Whole lot of time left. We've seen the St. Pete Catholic score well more than 2 touchdowns within a 7-minute span. Again, shout out to this crowd. And we look around here up in the booth. There's not a whole lot of real estate open in these bleachers. And once again, if you're listening to this, we expect the same kind of atmosphere next week, next Friday against Gibbs. Once again, the Baron Bash is before that at 5:30. Our pregame show will be live from the courtyard right in front of the Learning Commons. So you guys come say what's up. Maybe Henry will be on the pregame show. Maybe. I don't know.
This is probably a better environment here than it is at Tropicana Field for the Rays.
I don't know. The Rays are losing right now, unfortunately. They won 9 in a row before that, though.
Look at David Riley down there taking pictures with the camera.
Yeah, well, they're supposed to be taking pictures of the
Landon
field,
Shorter
not
back to
of
receive for the Barons.
David Riley, by the way, voice of the pregame show.
Voice of an angel.
David did very well in his pregame show debut. Him, as did Bryce Steinman. Can't forget about Grant Stevens. Grant is already chomping at the bit, Henry, to get back on there.
Really? It was his pregame show debut, but David's commentated other sports as
That is
volleyball.
true.
And if you want to check those out, go to the YouTube channel
Yeah,
that we
that
are
is
live
true.
streaming on now.
Touchback.
So Lane wanted to bring that out, but he was a step
St. Pete
inside the
Catholic will
end
set up
zone.
shop
So
first
Henry says, we
and
never
10
seen
at
this. It must
their
be a
own
rule. If they
20-yard
catch
line.
it in the end zone, it must be an automatic touchback. Yeah, that's what just happened there. St. Pete Catholic will set up shop from their own 20-yard line after the touchback. Big drive here for the Barons. They want to stay in it. Bro takes the snap, fakes Christian. Looking right, steps up, going deep, has Pritchett. Oh, off the fingertips. Oh, my. That was the deep
Pass
shot they
intended
needed.
just off the
And I tell you
hands of
what, this
Pritchett,
is going to be
gonna bring
roughing the
up a
passer
second
because Chase
and
took a
10.
big-time hit after the ball was already thrown. So St. Pete Catholic's going to get a free 15 here.
And about that play there, I think Pritchett kind of felt those footsteps there. I think
Fans
I
don't
think
Yeah,
forget
that yard was behind him.
After the game,
I think he got a
no
little bit
matter how
worried
it
and
ends
wasn't
up,
too focused on the ball.
you can head over
I don't
to
blame him.
Dead
I
Dog,
wouldn't
the
either.
official bar.
I'll tell you what, that was a heck of a throw by Chase
Oh,
after being,
Trust
I
the
mean,
X's and O's,
that was
the Jimmys and the
well,
Joes.
a hit pretty late after.
Roughing the passer. Flag on the play brings up a 1st and 10 for the Barons.
Let's see if this can get some momentum going for St. Pete Catholic. 7:39 left. They trail by 2 scores. 4 down territory, you have to assume the rest of the way. Bro takes the snap, fakes to Christian. Rolling right, throws back. Oh, what a throw to Shorter, and he drops it. Shorter took his eyes right off the ball, right as he hit his hands.
You know, you can't blame Shorter there. I mean, he's
Just a second
he's
and 10
had
for the
so
Barons.
many, great plays today for the Barons, and he's had one of their 2 touchdowns today.
Yeah,
So
but he'll tell you he's got to come up with that one.
yeah.
Great throw by Chase to the run as well. 2nd and 10. Throw fakes again, once again to Christian, looking for Shorter. Miscommunication there. Shorter turned back. Chase thought he was going deep. It'll be 3rd and long for the Barons.
This will bring up
Out of bounds.
a huge
Complete,
third down
brings
because,
up a
like we
3rd and
said,
10 for the Barons.
when it was the defensive side of the ball, the offense has been so quick to get off, and then that leaves the defense gassed. You know what I mean, Johnny?
I do, Henry.
I'm glad you understand.
$7:27 left. We're looking over to the sideline. St. Pete Catholic does this often. Rosado, Pritchett, and Lane to his right. Shorter to his left on this 3rd and 10. They'll figure to Christian, throw back to Pritchett. Pritchett has some room in front of him. Here we're talking about the screen finally working. Looks like a high hit, maybe in a face mask, but he
Inside
scrambled
slant
ahead for
to
4
Pritchett.
yards and make this 4th down more manageable.
It's
St. Pete
just a
Catholic will be
positive
going
yardage.
for it.
Going to bring up a
You know who we haven't seen in a
3rd
while is
and 7 for the
Caden
Barons.
Henderson, but something
Well, last time we said that he
Right,
made a big
4th
play.
down.
Here we go, St. Pete Catholic going fast. But number 1 is on the far side of the field, right over Pritchett. Christian to the right of Burrow. Fakes it to Christian. Looking right now, coming back left. Across the middle, off the chest of Pritchett. And that'll be a turnover on downs for the Barons.
In and out of the hands of
That
Pritchett.
was Colton Haywood in
the turnover
coverage.
on downs.
6:44 left in this game. St. Pete Catholic trails by 2
Tigers
scores,
will
and
take
Jesuit
over,
will take
setting up
over
shop inside
on St. Pete
Baron
Catholic's
territory.
40-yard line. And we do have an
Official
injured player.
timeout.
Haywood is
for water.
down for cramping. This will also double as our water break as well, with 6:44 left in this game. As Henry said earlier, we thank all you guys for watching. Still 6:44 left to go in this game. But if you guys can, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, because all of our streams for every single game this year, for every sport, will be right here on this channel. So, if you're a soccer fan and want to watch some soccer in the winter, that'll be on this channel. If you're a basketball fan, some very exciting times for the St. Catholic basketball program. That first game is at the end of the beginning of November. So keep it here all season for all Baron sports.
Yep, please smash that like button, press that subscribe button, turn on post notifications. I promise this channel is entertaining.
Be right back, like we said, next Friday, before the Barons will take on Gibbs. As Jesuit is ready, as Hayward was able to walk off the field under his own power after cramping up a little bit. He's really played well tonight, as has a majority of this Jesuit defense. 6:44 remaining. Jesuit would take over at St. Pete Catholic's 40-yard line. Griffin has 2 running backs near him now. Davis motions behind him. He'll get the handoff running right. Breaks the tackle, now sprinting left. And a very nice play there once again by Kendrick Handy. Almost knocked the ball loose. As Handy
Kendrick
continues
Handy
his
on the
strong play
stop for the
tonight.
Barons.
And it will be a gain
Davis
of
on
about
the carry
2,
for
second
the
and
Tigers.
8 for Jesuit.
No gain. 2nd and 10. Barons 39-yard line.
Clock is ticking here. St. Catholic did have to use one of their timeouts earlier in this half. As Griffin looks over the sideline. We mentioned before, he's back in the game. Good to see him back into the game. We have Bakari Pierce. As again, this is what, the 3rd or 4th time Jesuit's had a snapping issue.
Flag on the play.
I mean, I feel like there's
That
been
bobble.
more
Let's
times
see
that
what
kind
we
of
got
go
going on
just
here.
unnoticed from Jesuit that Jack will snap the ball and it's just miscommunication from the offense.
Yeah.
Nobody really moves. And I don't know. I feel like we haven't talked much about
Especially when you go on the claps.
Yeah.
You know, it could be, you know, which is such a big thing, as this is a false start on Jesuit.
False start against the Tigers.
So that play did not count. The false start
There's
was
that. They'll
before
back
it, so
them
the
up
St.
5,
Catholic
bring up
cannot
a 2nd down.
decline the penalty. So it'll be 2nd and 14 for Jesuit here, as
And 14.
I believe timeout Jesuit here, timeout Tigers. With 6 minutes on the dot remaining in this game. Once again, if you guys want even more content, we had some great interviews over the course of this week on our Instagram. Our Instagram is bspn.entertainment. Once again, the sports media program, which we started last year, but we're taking it to a new level this year, has really got off to a strong start. Shout out Gianna Shelton, who had a great interview with Coach Jesse. Both Gianna and Liv went around today interviewing some of our football players, asking favorite pregame music, just fun questions like that. So make sure you guys
6 minutes even
stay
left to go in
tuned
regulation.
for
2nd and 14.
even more
for the
content
Tigers.
coming this week on that account. The bspn.entertainment is our Instagram account. Make sure you guys go follow
That's the
over
Baron
there.
44-yard line.
You know, if you like the fun interviews that, you know, you pretty much see on TikTok from NFL social media teams, I mean, check out our page.
That's where we take a lot of our inspiration from. As we prepare the high schoolers for the world of digital media. 2nd and 14 for Jesuit. Hand off to Pierce. Pierce on a great tackle once again. Guess who, Henry? It's a guy that's had a great second half. David Afonso once again making another
David
great play.
Afonso again on
guessed
the
that
stop for a loss. They bring up a 3rd
You know, also upcoming
and
stuff
17
like Mr. A.
for the
like to call
Tigers.
them
Time for that Baron
podcasters.
defense.
Shout out Mr. A, the GOAT.
Yeah.
As it'll be 3rd and now 15 for Jesuit as that clock continues to bleed. Under right around 5 minutes, 20 seconds left in this game. I'll say we also do have a new scoreboard for the stream this year, Henry.
Yeah, I mean,
shout out Jameson Shields getting that done.
I said that as soon as I saw it. It
Yeah,
looks great.
Griffin rolling right, throws back, middle off the kneecaps of
Under
Lorenzo
pressure.
Alabajo.
Caden Graham did a great job.
Caden
of
Graham.
Caden
once again.
Graham.
And you know, when we
Forces
say these
incomplete pass, it
defenders,
brings up
especially on
4th down
that
for the
front line,
Tigers.
talk about Caden Graham. Henry mentioned is a sophomore, right? Yes, there's a lot of seniors sprinkled in there, but King Handy, number 13,
With a good
is
stop
again
by that
only a
Baron
junior.
defense.
So
Way
we're
to work,
talking
man.
about guys that will be here for the foreseeable future for the Barons. As 4th and 15, Jesuit will punt, as it will be Handy back there to return with 5 minutes and 12 seconds remaining. As the whistle blows, and it is delay game, but I think Jesuit might have done that
Delay
on
game
purpose,
against the Tigers.
maybe to get some more space for their punter. We don't see
They'll
that much,
back 'em up
much
5.
in high school. We see that a lot in NFL and college spaces, but
Now you got some smarter coaches. Nice.
And we'll try 4th down again.
makes it 4th and 25, 12 left in the
King
fourth
Handy
quarter.
back deep
Again,
to
this game is
receive
not
for the
over.
Barons.
Another great job by the Barons defense. So 5 minutes, 12 seconds. St. Catholic does have 2 timeouts. The atmosphere has been down a little bit in the second half, but the morale, I should say. But St. Catholic, with their explosive offense, anything can happen.
Absolutely still manageable.
As they come out for this punt, wow. Brody Clark got his hands up there, almost got a piece of it. As
Nice.
Handy will let it bounce, And wow, that ball dies at the 1-inch line. That is an incredible punt. Oh, wow, they called it a touchback.
By the nose of
I
the
think he was a
football,
little bit in the end zone.
Bears will
there,
take
Johnny.
over 1st and 10 after 20
The
yard
player
line
was
with
in the end
5:01
zone. The
remaining.
ball was not. That was an incredible punt by Beavers, but that was King Powell who flew down there, who Henry, as you correctly mentioned. If you touch the end zone of the ball, it's a touchback. But the ball alone was outside the goal line. That was an incredible punt for Beavers, who might be the player of the game for Jesuit.
You know, it's funny too because I pointed this out many times, not just to you, not just on the broadcast, but to people I've talked to at halftime. We were watching him warm up, and he was short on everything pretty much. And he was not looking too high.
Saving it for the game.
He's great in the game.
Here comes St. B. Catholic, last gas for the offense. 5 minutes, 1 second left. It goes in motion. They hand it to Christian, who stumbles ahead for a gain of maybe 1. Once again, the stout Jesuit
Inside
defense
handoff
holding
for
Christian in
Christian.
check. Nolan Dooley, whose name we've called a few times, on the tackle.
No gain. 2nd down.
2nd and 10. So looks over the sideline. Maybe for an audible. 2nd and 10. Christian to his right. Burrow fakes it to him. Quick throw out to Lane. Lane catches it, tries to spin off a defender, but a really nice tackle by Binyard Jr., who has been
Burrow
impressive
pass
the sophomore
complete to
corner.
Lane.
He's made multiple splash plays tonight. Gain of about
Pick
4.
up a
Makes
3.
it
Going to
3rd
bring
and
up a
6.
3rd and 7 for the Barons.
I can now kind of hear that Jesuit band. I wasn't able to earlier. That is pretty cool.
And they travel well. As the Jesuit fans travel well. Again, just about a 30-minute drive from Jesuit's campus to St. P. Catholic's. And next year, St. P. Catholic will be going to Jesuit in the preseason as this 3rd and 7 for Burrow. Fakes it again to Christian. Rolling left, throw in left, and on a dot to Pritchett, whose name we've called a ton tonight. That was fit to Chase Burrow.
You know, he's
That's good move
not,
to change. That's good for
Pritchett's not a
St. Pete
guy
Catholic.
tonight that, you know, is going to get the ball in every single play, but he's a guy that's going to show up big, you know, on important, crucial plays, on big 3rd downs, on converting to 1st downs, scoring touchdowns. You know, that's what I see from that guy.
Fake to Christian again, back to shorter possession catch there. Gains about 6.5, maybe 7 yards. St. Pete Catholic's got to get moving.
Pass complete to Shorter.
So again, this is still a game. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left. As
2nd
the
and 3.
offense.
All the
Picking up
Barons
some
need to
momentum.
do is put something together here.
Bro fakes to Christian again, looking for shorter, deep, throwing shorter, deep, shorter with a step, catching his stride. Oh, it came out at the end. But they're saying it is a catch. They're saying the ball caused the fumble. That is going to be a very controversial call, especially for King Powell, who's not happy about it. St. Pete Catholic's got to get on this ball. That is a catch. Great pass. Another great throw by Burrow.
Good catch. That's good for a St. Pete
This
Catholic.
offense is moving way too slow right now.
Yeah, they got to get going. This is still a game as the sideline is. I think there's a little bit of confusion when the ball flew out. Now the refs are taking their sweet time to spot the ball. The clock did stop for the 1st down. So 3 minutes, 10 seconds remaining.
1st and 10 for the Barons of the Jesuit 25.
St. Pete Catholic knocking on the Jesuit on the red zone. Looking right, throwing right, caught by Pritchett, stumbles in the end zone, touchdown Barons, and just like that, St. Pete Catholic is right back into it.
He kind of caught it, lost it, and then regained control of the ball. Defender kind of missed him there. I mean, elite focus from Pritchett there, and that was a phenomenal play.
I mean, that was fantastic by Pritchett. And then just like that, we talked about this game's not over. St. Pete Catholic scores in a flash, and Dominic McNally will have a field goal, try to cut it to 7 with 3 minutes to go.
You know, we've kind of milked this, but this is where the defense is going to need to show up. They've showed up all game. This is where it ends up being most important, because if they get a quick drive here from Jesuit,
And,
SPC gets the ball
I'll
back.
tell you what, Jesuit for the first time also will not be starting with the ball on
McNally
the 50-yard
will cut the
line.
extra point
You know,
for the
hopefully
Barons.
with a good kickoff, they pin them deep. Here's the extra point. All important, almost blocked to give it. Alex sweeps it through the left up there. He's hyped. 7-point Jesuit lead. Just like that, the Barons are back in this game. This is why, Henry, we were talking about it. The morale in the stadium just seemed low. We've seen this offense do exactly this multiple times. St. Pete Catholic is right back in the game. Jesuit leads by 7, 3 minutes, 3 seconds remaining. Catholic set to kick off what's been a very entertaining preseason game, I will say.
Yeah, especially now that we're putting into it a little bit earlier, it was a little bit, offside it, but SPC starting something.
Yeah. Once again, turnover has been a problem for the Barons today. But again, I don't love is the wrong word, but we would much rather get those out of the way in the preseason than in the regular season. McNally ready to kick the ball off as we have two guys back there to receive for Jesuit. Easton Brooks back there with Jamie Bernard as well.
Barons haven't had too many kickoffs today.
As this one is the 5th of the game for the Barons, as McNally will boot it away. Short line drive kick caught by Brooks. Brooks running right up the gut. Oh, and he's hit right away. Guess who, Henry? Kendrick Handy once again laying the boom, and this stadium starts to come alive. 2:57 remaining. Barons trail by 7. There we go. Yeah, Don, fire up the crowd.
We made noise up here in the booth.
Thule was hyped down there. I appreciate it, Don.
About the 30-yard line.
Here we go. 1st and 10. This is the ball game.
Elite emote.
Maybe Jesuit can get 1 first down, but St. Catholic 2 timeouts, 2:57 remaining. Jesuit 10 yards away from a potential victory. They hand it to Davis. Davis running right, has a head of steam, but guess who, Henry's been a force in the second half. David Afanu making another play there. Gain of 3, tackle. 2nd and 7 for Jesuit.
Double forward, definitely filling the shoes there of Colton Shaw so far today.
We talked about big shoes to fill as well.
They bring up a 2nd and 6.
Big shoes to fill.
Yes, he was very productive. As Jesuit will huddle. St. Catholic elected not to use their timeout, which I like. If St. Catholic gets to stop here, I assume one of those timeouts will be burned. This time they take Davis out. Trey Smith dots the I in the I formation. And once again, ball is out. Once again, trouble with the snap. St. Pete Catholic has the ball. Oh, my goodness. St. Pete Catholic back from the depths. John Robinson recovers the fumble. St. Pete Catholic will have possession on their own 34-yard line. On Jesuit's 34-yard line.
Absolute cinema here at Joe Paul Stadium tonight.
St. Pete Catholic. Unreal. Henry, I feel like I said it before. You can't count this team out. This defense makes a play. The snapping struggles with Jesuit bites them again. And St. Pete Catholic has a chance to tie this game. 2:17 remaining. Here we go.
You can never count the Barons out. That is a fact.
Chop Robinson again. What a play. Let's see if the offense can pay it off. Now it's Jesuit's side that looks a bit shaky. Here we go. Barons are on their feet. Christian to the right of Burrow. Burrow takes snap, fakes to Christian. Burrow rolling right, throwing right, throws it away. Smart play there by Chase. Nothing was available. 2:07 remaining.
2:07 remaining.
He could have done that a little bit earlier.
But he's learning from his mistakes, right? Which is what we'd love to see. Sometimes you got to wait in the course of a season to see that. Chase obviously doing that within the game. Once again, if you're just now joining us, Jesuit leads by 7. They led by 14. St. Pete Catholic just scored. And then the second Jesuit fumble leads to St. Pete Catholic having the ball at Jesuit 34-yard line. 2:07 left in the 7-point game in this preseason affair. Rosado has room in front of him. Runs in front. Big hit laid there by Nolan Dooley, who's been all the way up for the Tigers. Rosado gains about 4. It'll be 3rd and 6 for the Barons. Time clock is ticking. 1:50 left. St. Pete Catholic still has 2 timeouts. Did not burn any of their timeouts on the defensive possession. St. Pete Catholic can and will go quick.
Big 3rd down here.
4 down territory for the Barons. Clock is ticking. 1:35 remaining. Here we go. Chase takes snap. Fakes to Christian. Looking right. Left one. Oh, throws it. Oh, Pritchett looked open for a second, but it was Cam Housey once again getting back there on defense. Looked like the miscommunication. Maybe that's part of the play on the left side, but 1:25, 4th and 6. This is the ball game right here.
Just say that wasn't miscommunication. That's a really hard ball for Chase to complete there. I mean, he has to throw through a target.
I'll tell you what, Chase has been exceptional tonight, rolling left and throwing.
Yeah.
But that was a very, very tough play for Chase. Here we go. I wonder if St. Catholic might burn a timeout here. 125. Pritchett just got back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to let it roll. Chase looks back over. Here we go. Chase takes snap, fakes to Christian, looking left, looking for Pritchard across the middle. Pritchard across the middle. Oh, what a play by Jamie Bernard, knocking that ball out of the air, breaking the heart of the Barron faithful as the Jesuits defense stands tall one more time. And unless another spectacular play happens, Jesuit will, by the skin of their teeth, Henry, walk out of Joe Paul Stadium with a victory.
That was an amazing
play.
I'll tell you what. Coach Jesse and company drew up a fantastic play right there. Had Pritchard across the middle. And Benyard came off his zone, saw that ball in the air. Henry, if you saw this, he turned around and came and make that play. That was a heck of a play by the Jesuit second-year defensive back.
And, that was perfect by Chase. If he threw it any higher, it would have
Player to get up.
That was a great throw. Sometimes good defense will beat good offense.
Good to see him up.
Not the first time we've said that.
Yep. A minute 19 left. St. Catholic again still has both timeouts. If they did get the ball back, I'm sure there'd be maybe 10 seconds left.
Both players up.
But once again, the Jesuit defense standing tall. They've been fantastic.
Jesuit takes over with a minute 19 remaining.
Once again, but nothing is for sure here. We've seen Jesuit fumble 2 snaps.
Right at the 30-yard line.
Might try and just run this one out.
That's what they tried to do before.
Yeah.
So now they're back in shotgun where they still have some snapping problems, but the last problem came under center.
Yeah.
So Griffin hands it to Davis. Davis running forward, not a lot doing there. And immediately a timeout by the St. Catholic with a minute 14 left.
Hand off to Davis. No gain. Timeout Barron.
The entire Barron defense in there on that tackle. 27-20, minute 14 left. Once again, we appreciate everyone hopping in here and joining the stream. A huge crowd here on this opening night. Tilt between, two really good teams. So this is the entertaining thing about the preseason. There's no St. Catholic and Jesuit in different classifications. They won't play again this season. Obviously, Western Jesuit, nothing but the best going forward. But Henry, Jesuit has been one of the prominent programs in this county. Or I should say in this area. Obviously, Pinellas and Hillsborough are different counties, but in the Tampa Bay area. And St. Catholic going toe-to-toe with them all night.
It's definitely a good sign. And, when I saw this Jesuit matchup on the schedule, I was excited.
Oh, again, a low snap. The ball's loose again. St. Catholic has it. Are you kidding me? Wow. Unbelievable.
What is going on?
Beyond belief. St. Catholic.
If you know of anyone who left this game early, 6 months of shame on them.
Henry, we have to go for 2 at this point if we score.
I agree.
Still one timeout left.
First and 10 inside
I'll tell you what,
Jesuit
3 turnovers all on
at the 28-yard line
from Jesuit. They need the ball one more time. The game's over. 2 more times. St. Catholic has the ball in almost the exact same situation they just had it. First and 10 from their own 29. Christian to the left of Burrow. Chase Burrow looking back at Coach Jesse. Once again, they have an opportunity here to tie the game. Fake to Christian. Christian, a great pass block. Looking right. Incomplete pass. Chase had to throw it off his back foot.
Pass on a short hop.
With Trip Keller blitzing in from the secondary. 105 left, 27-20.
Even if this doesn't go our way, what a start to the Barons season. This is just an epic showdown we are watching here.
Three receiver to Chase's left, laying the lone one on the right side. Christian, who's played almost every single offensive snap tonight for the Barons. Now lines up on Chase's right. 105 remaining. Chase takes the ball. Looking right, pressure from his left. Chase scrambling for a throw. It's a short, caught by shoulder. Inside right at the 10-yard line. What a throw by Chase. said, he got hit as he threw. St. Catholic's got to get on the ball. The clock will stop momentarily with the first down. And Chase got banged up after that throw. I'll tell you what, Henry, it's a big-time throw by the senior captain.
What a play. I mean, for him to be able to step up in the pocket and face pressure and still complete that pass, it was a perfect throw.
Here we go, 1st and 10. They still can get a first down. Timeout, Jesuit. As Shorter was tackled just short of the 10-yard line. 1st and 10 from St. Pete Catholic. Jesuit's 12-yard line. My goodness, folks, what a game.
If you had one shot, one opportunity, seize everything you ever wanted, one moment that you captured.
What a game, Henry. St. Pete Catholic. Twice.
What a song.
Twice. St. Pete Catholic has had opportunities to close out, or Jesuit has had opportunities to close out the game. But all day, St. Pete Catholic's defense has shown up. And now the offense will look to return the favor here. 27-20, if you just joined us. Jesuit has led basically all game. And, St. Pete Catholic held themselves down by 2 touchdowns here in the 4th quarter with over 5 minutes left. St. Pete Catholic was able to come score a touchdown. Now, they've turned the Jesuit over 2 times in the last 3 minutes to have an opportunity to win this game.
Like you said, you got to go for 2.
I mean, I think
With
you
those
have to.
fumble
What
recoveries,
does the tie do? I doubt there's preseason
And Baron.
football. There's no doubt, but St. Pete Catholic has to get in the end zone first. Here we go. 1st and 10 from the Baron 14-yard line. Christian, a step behind Chase, fakes it to Christian, rolls right, looking for Lane, nothing doing. Henderson right on his back, and he'll throw it away.
Rolls out, didn't like what he
Henderson
sees.
talking a little bit to Chase as he pushes him out of bounds. As there's 5-star linebacker from Jesuit, Texas A&M
Down to
commit.
47-6.
I'd assume he'd be.
Second
They're going to be
10.
rushing in almost every time down the
The
stretch right
Jesuit
here.
14.
Just to tell Henderson, this game is not over. This game is still in Burrow's hands. And we know what he does in crunch time.
Here we go. 2nd and 10. Ball still on the 14. Christian in motion. Chase claps his hands. Here we go. Fake to Christian. Henderson blitzing it again. Chase stepping up in the pocket, overthrows Pritchett. Really not a lot there. I'll tell you what, that was a great rep by the right tackle, Barnes. He stonewalled Henderson on that right side to give Chase an opportunity to step up in that pocket.
3rd down.
3rd down. Obviously 4-down territory here for the Barons. Third and 10, game on the line here. Still 2 more downs. St. Pete Catholic can get a first down. They don't need to score. First down is right inside the 5-yard line. Henderson again on that right side. They're not, you see Henry, they're not putting him on the left side against Howard. They like that matchup with Barnes. Barnes won the rep last time.
Yeah.
That matchup's on the near side of your screen, 55 versus number 1. They're leaving Barnes one-on-one over there. They motion Rosado that side. Let's see if he helps him out a little bit. Oh, trouble to snap, Burrell, and he falls back on it.
That's a tough 3rd down.
And that's a snap. Both teams have had snapping problems tonight.
Snap goes sideways.
And
Burrell has to
now it'll be a
fall
4th
down
and very
on it,
long,
bring up a
36
4th
seconds
down.
remaining. Timeout, St. Pete Catholic. They'll use the last timeout here to see if they can come up with something. What a game this has been, Henry. It's been chaotic. It's been entertaining. Kind of everything you want in a preseason game. I'll tell you what, both coaching staffs will have a lot to work on before week 1 next week.
It's definitely a perfect and exciting start to the season. And I know it's not regular season, but this is still getting the crowd and the environment into it. And hopefully that carries on into the rest of the season for them
Barons
to show
fans,
up.
have you enjoyed some preseason football tonight?
Join our live stream. I think right now is the most we've had all night, and that's pretty incredible considering this is the end of the game.
Still not over. I tell you what, it would be 4th and 24 for the Barons, but we've seen crazier things happen. Shorter has been the deep threat all night. He's caught 3 long balls down the field. You have to think he'd be a target here, and then obviously Pritchett has been unbelievable all night for the Barons. And here comes the Barons offense back on the field. Again, you have to, where is number 1 in white for Jesuit? He lines up on the right side where he's been most night. and he's going to be coming after the quarterback. Barnes has been over there one-on-one with him, and Henry, he's held his own his last few plays. Let's see if they leave him. They're going to leave him one-on-one again. Let's see how much time. Chase, on a 4th and 24, you need some time to get to the end zone. Here we go. Here's the game right here. 36 seconds. Jesuit leads by 7. Chase has 2 receivers to his right, Shorter on his left. Christian flanks him on the right side. One last look over to the sideline. There we go. Farrell fakes to Christian, takes the snap. Henderson in there, throws down the field, intercepted. Picked off by Panansky, and he'll take a knee, and that'll end this game. Chase had to throw it up there. Henderson got right in his face. The comeback falls just short for the Barons, but I'll tell you what, man, what a preseason game for St. Pete Catholic. But again, the snap, you never know with the snap. I'm not going to say it's over till it's over, but what a preseason game for the Barons.
I mean, it was a great game. Definitely an electric one to start us off.
Again, we'll be right back here next Friday. St. Pete Catholic will take on Gibbs. You know, that's a big game for a multitude of reasons. And again, our coverage will start at 5:30 with our pregame show. Again, it's also Baron Bash. So if you guys are watching, are a St. Pete Catholic fan, make sure that you guys get to the Baron Bash. It'll be right outside the Learning Commons. Our pregame show will be live from there. Stop by, say hello. If you can't make it, we will be live on YouTube right at 7 o'clock. Griffin kneels it, and that'll do it. A great game between two, or expected to be great teams. And Randy, last words.
Thank you very much for anyone who watched. Again, make sure you smash that subscribe.
Again, make sure you do like, comment, subscribe. We'll be here all season, and we'll see you guys next week.
To the visiting fans, family and friends, and players from Jesuit.